Hello YouTube. I decided that I was not in the mood to make any kind of video about things I don't like or have opinions on. So instead, hi, you're getting a video of my trip to Timbuktu and all. Woo! Gotta get back in. Alright, it is several hours later. We still have not made it to Paris. Did I mention we're going to Paris? Because there was no flights from Germany to Mali, so I have to fly from Paris. And because, I know you guys don't like hearing this, but Europe is really starting to fall apart. It's just what it is, it's the truth, sorry. I was supposed to take the high-speed train from Stuttgart to Paris, which is like about 3 hours. That's actually really bougie, and I have taken it in the past and really liked it. But then the train union went on strike, so I couldn't do that. So I had to go on this lovely far travel bus, I don't know what it's called. And we just sat in a traffic jam for an hour because the farmers in both Germany and France are also on strike, and they closed down the Autobahn. So at this rate, if I'm lucky, I'll get to Paris by like, I don't know, 8 or 9 p.m. instead of at 2 p.m. with the train. And with me already being very tired a lot lately and exhausted, this is really not helpful way to start the trip. Hi. Alright, you guys, we finally made it to Paris with only a 3-hour delay. It is now 9:30, which means I was on that bus for 12 hours. And now I have another 45 minutes or so to get to my hotel. Oh my god. I'm telling you guys, from a 3-hour train ride, if they hadn't been on strike, to a 13-hour bus ride, I'm very much not happy with how this trip is starting. Alright, you guys, it's 11 p.m. I finally got to my hotel and showered, and what can I say? It's been a very crappy day. We went from what should have been a 3-hour train ride to a 12-hour bus ride, and then all the metro stops that I had to use in Paris, the escalators weren't working, so I had to carry all of my bags. And then when I got to the last metro station, my bag popped open and everything landed in the sewage. Then I walked what I thought was the right way, but then the road was closed off and I had to walk all the way back. And at that point, my bag fell again and ripped my fingers, or cut my finger. Look on my... Why am I doing this so complicated? Because it's my nasty finger. So that was nice. Yeah. I don't know. And one of the things that I find the most difficult about this life at this point is that I feel like I constantly have to preface that I know I'm blessed, that I can live this life, because a lot of people, they don't have the chance to. And, you know, and I actually feel like in a certain callous way, I think people actually almost feel like I'm not entitled to being tired or frustrated or having a bad day or feeling unhappy, because even a close friend of mine, the last time we hung out, she basically kind of was like, stop complaining, like you have this amazing life that most people would want. And I'm like, I mean, I'm like I'm not crazy or anything, like I'm not trying to say that I don't understand that comparatively a lot of people have to deal with much more serious issues than necessarily what I'm going through. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, who has the right to actually bicker or to feel frustrated or sad about the way their life is going? Because I'm like, yeah, somebody might come up to me and be like, you have no right to complain because you have this amazing traveling life. And I'm like, yeah. And you have no right to complain because you're completely healthy, or you have both your parents living, or because you have an amazing car, or because you own a house, or because you have a loving relationship with a husband or a wife, or you have these amazing kids, or I don't know, whatever, and it's kind of like, well, at what point are people entitled to voice how they feel, right? And yeah, I don't feel good. I have a bad suspicion that this entire trip's going to be really, really difficult. I think I mentioned the reason I had to come to Paris was that there was no flights directly from Mali, from Germany to Mali. But even the direct flight from Paris it's a 10-hour flight, and I only have 1 day between. So I gave myself 1 day tomorrow in Paris, because I want to. One thing I haven't done in Paris yet that I still would like to do is see the catacombs. Yeah, and then the day after that, I already have my flight to Mali. That's another 10 hours. So I just feel like just too sick and too old. Good night. Hello, you guys. I don't know what's going on with my hair. We are in Paris. Not sure if that helped at all. It was too quick. Everything about this trip to Timbuktu has just been so draining and difficult so far already. What is up with my hair? My friend gave me this new leave-in conditioner, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Yeah, it's just been non-stop problems from the train ticket. I had all these issues with the visa. Like 2 days ago, I was told by... Oh, I guess we just crossed illegally here. I was told by the tour guide that the country of Mali has stopped issuing tourist visas, and the thing is, they told me right when I booked the tour that we need to have a minimum amount of people who are interested in the tour to begin with, because otherwise they weren't going to go forward with the tour. So when he mentioned this and he was saying some people still haven't gotten their visa, I of course right away went into panic mode, because if there's not enough people, the tour is not going to happen. And then I woke up this morning. That's when I made the other video. There was like a email from the tour guide, and he was like, yeah, so some people are having a hard time with it, so we might be canceling just the Timbuktu part of the trip, which is the only part of the trip I'm actually even interested in. Because that's one of the world wonders that I'm still missing. So I'm kind of like, well, what's the point of me even going to Mali if I'm not going to, get to see Timbuktu? And then you also have to consider, though, that this is Africa, and, if I just now don't show up, I'm not going to get that money back. So that would just be lost money, so I don't... Anyway, then I messaged the tour guide, the local tour guide, the one who's actually in Mali, and I was trying to get more information out of him. And from what I understand, there's only one person who wasn't able to get their visa and doesn't look like they will, but everybody else of the tour has. But still, it's like the only way, because technically we're still not enough people to even make it worth going to the doing the Timbuktu portion. So he's like, I'm gonna try to work things out. I was like begging him basically. I was like, please, 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 like I'll give up everything else on this tour. Just let me go to Timbuktu. I don't even care about the rest. And he said he'll try to see about the workaround. One of the potential workarounds he's thinking of is that if everybody who's left, who still is on the tour and did get their visa, if we would be willing to pay the portion of the guy who didn't get his visa, then they could do it. Okay, my hair looks terrible. So yeah, so if that's the option, then I'll probably go ahead and do that, even though I would not be happy, but yeah. And now we're off to breakfast. I'm in France, so you know I'm gonna eat croissant. Alright, you guys. We are in the Paris catacombs, which is like one thing that I haven't seen in Paris yet that I still was really interested in seeing. And the ceiling is very low, so I'm a little bit worried about hitting my head. Alright, you guys, we just finished the catacombs. Going up the stairs. This was pretty crazy. Probably one of my more favorite things I've seen in Paris, along with the Louvre and Notre Dame. Although I haven't seen it since the fire. Yeah. Not sure if I'm going to include the videos I took. I'm not sure how I feel about it in terms of ethics. Seems a little bit morally wrong to take videos and pictures of dead people. What was really kind of cool and creepy was everywhere where they put up lights, those skeletons started growing like moss on them. And that was actually kind of beautiful in a kind of weird, creepy way. Yeah. Totally recommend. But be careful if you're tall. This is definitely an attraction for short people.
Wow.
Hello, you guys. Should I even be making daily updates? Is anybody gonna watch this at this point anymore? It's probably gonna be another one of those 50-minute videos, which I've already been told nobody wants to watch, especially on my channel, because I am not that entertaining. I know I'm not that entertaining. I know that these days people want short videos, they want heavily edited videos, they want videos with pictures and bing bang boom, and this is just not me. I'm more of a train of thought kind of person, tangenty person, and that's just not most people's speed, so I don't even know if it's worth making an update. So today the main tour guide person came. His name's Abdullah, and the woman in the tour, more on that in a second, lots of drama today. She basically asked him like, so Timbuktu, confirmed? And he was like, it's to 90% confirmed, but I still have to wait to get the actual plane tickets, which he said he was gonna find out in like an hour or two, and now it's been 6 hours. We still haven't heard anything from him since then. Granted, I also didn't have the courage to ask him because, like I said, I'm kind of like, I'm at the point where if it's not a yes, I'm almost rather just live with the idea that it potentially might still be a yes rather than having a definitive no. So yeah, and honestly, like in Africa, when somebody says like I'm 90% sure, they might as well just say it's 5% sure. In Africa, like even actually, to be completely fair, honestly, like even if he said it was confirmed, I know I would feel somewhat more relaxed about the whole situation, but I still wouldn't feel 100%. And because in Africa, and especially in a place like Mali, that's Africa on hyperdrive, because it's like, you know, they just closed down the visa, and you know, a lot of people are being like unhappy with the current regime because it was like a coup, which is not uncommon in Africa either. And you know, this is one of those places where every single day things can completely change. Timbuktu might be open today. Tomorrow they confirm the flight. The day after that, the flight is canceled because there was another coup. So fully 100%, I'm not gonna really feel okay till it actually happens. Having said that, today a lot of drama between. I already told you guys like the woman. The thing is like the guy from Slovenia. I think he's a complete misogynistic pig, but with putting that aside, as far as that's possible, I mean, in the real world, him and I would not be friends. Well, no, we wouldn't be friends. But it's actually like, it's kind of like messed up to say, but I actually like him better than I do her. Because he's like really funny and he's upbeat and he's chill and he's just kind of like going with the flow, and she is just non-stop complaining and she wants everything to go her way, and if it doesn't go her way, she's just like completely impossible about it and just tries to make it horrible for everybody else around. So like the main tour guide came today, and she just like, first she went in hard on him about Timbuktu because she's like, it's so expensive and you haven't confirmed it and this is bad. And then like she I guess paid more for the tour, but I couldn't completely understand it because she also arrived 3 days before me and the other guy. So I was like, yeah, you paid more, but you also had 3 extra days. And then the main tour guide was saying something like, look, those 3 extra days, technically I charge 250 euros or $250, something like that, per day of having a tour guide and having a driver and yada yada yada. And I only charged her 100 euros per day for those 3 days or something like that. I don't know. But it was just, they were just going off on each other. And I have to honestly tell you, like, I was kind of like, where should I put myself here? Because one of her complaints was like, you know, like, we're here now in Segu, and Segu is actually a really nice city. I have to say, like, after Harare, it's probably the nicest city I've seen in Africa. But like the festival, it's not a festival. Like, granted, I honestly don't really give a shit about. There's only 3 things in Mali that I give a shit about. Clearly, Timbuktu, because I've talked about it nonstop. The second thing is Djen, which is like the grand mosque. It's like huge. It's got that really interesting style that you've seen in like some of the videos I made, because we saw like other mosques that you can visit that were built in the same style. But Djen is like the main huge mosque in Mali in that style, which is closed, and it's been closed for like 2 years or something like that, because a tourist went and took pictures of military, and they were kind of like, well, if the tourists can't behave, then they don't need to come here. And the third thing is Bamako. And the only reason I want to see Bamako is because I have this weird thing about when I travel, if I don't see the capital city, I don't count it as having seen that country. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even give a crap about Bamako because there's nothing really there. So like the tour has a whole bunch of things in it that I didn't care about at all, but I was like, okay, I'm probably only going to come to Mali once. I mean, if Timbuktu doesn't happen now, maybe I will have to come back to Mali. But that was my original thinking. I was like, I'm probably only going to do Mali once, and they're going to do Bamako. They're going to attempt to go to Dijen, but it was still closed. And then there was a couple of other things, like here in Segu, this like mask festival. And the pictures they put online, I do have to agree with the woman. Her name is May. I do have to agree with her there. They were misleading because I thought this was going to be like a traditional festival. We were going to see people in traditional costumes and dancing, and like the mastas. They showed like these masked people from like Dogon County, country, no, county, um, here in Mali, and that looked really interesting to me. But then we got here yesterday, and I was like, this is basically a swap meet. I was like, this is not like a festival to me. Like it looked like a flea market. They were like selling the same kind of cheap crap they sell in the regular market here. Some like cheapy food stands, and there's like one little area where they're like playing music and something. But I'm like, we literally yesterday we walked through it in like 45 minutes. And now we have 3 days here, and this is like supposed to be something we're supposed to be doing every single day. So I understand her that in this part she's kind of like, this is crap, I don't like this itinerary, yada yada yada. On the other hand, I kind of was like, well, I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me, you know? So like at this point I have to say, like, you know, life is kind of a game. Life is a game. And at that point, it just became a game where I was kind of like, okay, I can kind of side with her on the things where I agree with her. I don't think it's really the best use of our time to spend 3 days here in this crappy, small little festival that's basically a glorified flea market. At the same time, I'm like, Abdullah, the main tour guide owner, I was like, he might be my only chance to see Timbuktu. So I'm not going to go against him, you know what I mean? So, but then like at the same time, I kind of was like, man, that the guy from Slovenia, like, in this situation, he pissed me off because he is always on that on May's ass. Since the tour start, he is, May, oh May, you look so beautiful. Oh May, do you want to give me a massage? Oh May, I like you so much. Oh May, you're so cute. And May, all the fucking time. And now when May was kind of like bringing up some of the points were kind of valid, he said nothing, like nothing. And then he like basically eventually got up and walked away. And then because May's English is not so good, and the rest of them are also, their English is not so good. I probably have the best English of everyone. I kind of got stuck being the person between her and Abdullah and trying to like, you know, be like, okay, well, this is what she's trying to say, and maybe we can find a way to get along and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, it was a lot of drama. It was like, and then the whole day it was like an hour and a half of them just going back and forth, and I just was like, I just want to go to Timbuktu, you guys. Also, I had an epiphany this morning because I was kind of like, you know, like I rewatched the video I taped yesterday, and I kind of was like, man, this video has so much cognitive dissonance in it if you think about it, because like on the one hand, I'm talking about how I can't get myself to give a shit about first world problems like stupid pronouns and the whole trans crap and all this kind of stuff. Because like, you know, seeing life here in Africa today again, we went to the Niger River and we like went to like a fishing village or something. And it was like this 4 year, like all these little girls and boys, they were already like fishing and like scrubbing pans and chopping wood, you know, all this kind of stuff. Things that like in the Western world we would kind of be like, oh my God, the children, you know, oh my God, they're only 26 years old. You can't possibly expect anything from them. They're practically still a child, right? And here with 5 years old, you're already scrubbing the dishes and washing the clothes of for the family. So on the one hand, I was rewatching my video yesterday. I was like, okay, on the one hand, I'm kind of like saying how I can't give a shit about, first of all, problems. And then on the other hand, I'm just sitting there kind of like, oh my God, I want to be able to go to Timbuktu. And I was like, man, you are going to get called out hard for that last video. They're going to be like, do you even see what a complete hypocrite you're being? And yes, I am being a complete hypocrite. The only difference is, and this is my one little defense, is I don't expect you guys to give a shit. You know, the whole thing, like people trying to say like, I was born a man, but I'm a real woman and I can get my period and all this kind of stuff. Like I always say on my channels, like everybody can do whatever the hell they want as an adult, as long as you're not hurting anybody else or trying to tell other people how they have to live their life or how, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you were born a man and you want to go around say and call yourself a woman, you by all means do it. I don't care. But don't tell me that I have to call you a woman or I have to use made-up pronouns. Then you're crossing a line. So to me, it's like, yes, I see the hypocrisy in me complaining. It's a very first world problem. Is the world gonna end because I don't get to see Timbuktu? Of course not. At the same time, I'm also not telling you guys that you have to care about my problems. I mean, like, you know, maybe you're watching and you're wishing me that everything works out, which I hope. I mean, by the time I upload this video, we'll know if I end up getting to go or not. Yeah, like, but I'm not trying to tell other people you have to do something to make sure I get to Timbuktu. No, this is my life and I have to figure out how to make it work, right? So that's my one little defense. Maybe not the best for you guys. I will want to show you guys one thing. Okay, yesterday when we went to that festival, because like of course they're selling like a lot of stuff. Some of it's traditional. There's actually these things. I think it's called Phoebe, and it's like the traditional cloth they do here. And I was so tempted. It was so expensive, and I was like, I can't. Like, I've already bought. So there's like a handful of things that I am a complete sucker for when it comes to souvenirs. I love everything to do with like fabric. So anything that's embroidered, anything that's knitted, any like doily, weaving, any of those things. I have so much of that stuff in storage. Like every country I go to, I buy like some kind of cloth or something like that because I just love that stuff. I just find it gorgeous. Also little pots or like little things that you can put like little keys into or something like that. Every country I go to, I always like, I'm just like, I want one of those things, you know? And like random little knick-knacky crap that you can hang on the wall. Not so much stuff you can put somewhere, but like things that you can hang on the wall, like I'm always like super drawn to. And that was like another one of those cloths, but then I really was like, this one's pretty expensive. And I was like, I really gave myself a budget this time. I was like, only the money that I exchanged into local currency is the money I'm allowed to spend. But what I'm about to show you is also super expensive, but I got to pay it in euros. Some more hypocrisy on my part. Yay, we love a guy with hypocrisies, right? And I literally actually bought this because I was like, I want to wear this. So it's something to wear. Oops, I already flashed it. Flash. I was like, I want to wear this in the picture I take in Timbuktu. Like I told you guys, I always take a really cheesy picture in all the World Wonder ones. But now I'm like, I still don't know if Timbuktu is going to happen. And I paid 20 euros for this. They wanted 100 euros. He wanted 100 euros. It was basically like, okay, I'll show like, okay, so basically this is it. Okay, it's like this. Okay, like this, it looks completely crazy. You guys are probably like, that looks completely crazy. Like, why would you wear that? This is not how you wear it. So basically you wear the shimag, which, you know, you guys have seen, like the Arab people, that cloth that Arab men wear on their head. You wear that, and then this is like a decorative thing that goes over the shimag. And like, I saw him wearing it. This is actually his. And he walked by and he was actually trying to sell me some other kind of crap. I think like little cheap plastic mirrors. And I kept pointing at this thing. I was like, I want that. Where can I get that? That is so fucking cool. And he was like, no, this is mine. And they actually don't make it at this festival. This is from like, actually probably you could buy it in Timbuktu because in the north, they are more likely because it's the desert, right? It's the Sahara that they wear shimag. And here now, further to the south, they don't even wear this. And then I saw him today again, and I was like, I want that. And he was like, 100 euros. And I was like, no, dude, I'm not paying 100 euros for that. And it's probably not even worth 20 euros. But now I'm also kind of like, okay, well, now if I don't go to Timbuktu, what am I going to do with this thing? Like, that's not like it's something I'm going to wear in Germany or something, so. And one more thing, I'm also getting herpes. So I got a zit, I'm getting herpes. I'm feeling overall, my hair is a freaking disaster since I've come to Africa. I still don't know about Timbuktu. I think that's part of what's driving like me getting herpes and stuff, because I tend to get breakouts when I get anxious. And anything else. Sun exposure, stress. If I ever do, like a few times a year when I, actually this year definitely not. Last year. If I do maybe kiss somebody or something, that a lot of times causes it too. Sorry if that grosses you guys out. But anybody who's watched my channel for a while, you guys have already seen me that I get outbreaks all the time, like all the time. So it's not like you guys are kind of like, what is that? Ew, gross. So, and now I'm gonna finish for today, because now, once again, I'm just talking a bunch of crap that you guys don't care about. And this video is gonna be super long, and probably tomorrow I'm gonna have another update, and to be like, I still don't know, and then I eventually have to know by the 5th, because today's the 2nd of February. The latest that I would not have to know is by the 4th, because in the updated itinerary, he said we're going to Timbuktu from the 5th to the 7th. So, either the next video or the video after that will hopefully be good news. Bye. Alright, we are in Segukala, hope I'm saying that right, which used to be the capital of the Bamara Kingdom. And if I understood it correctly, we're about to meet the last descendant of what used to be the king. I'm not sure if he has an official title still. Alright, here's the palace of the Bamara king. Hello you guys, very quick update. Today is the 3rd of February. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we're in Segu and there's a festival, which, yeah, I did mention that. Anyway, the 2 other people on my tour, they decided to go last night, and I already went to bed kind of anxious because I don't have Wi-Fi. I've been telling them I need to buy a SIM card or something, because a lot of the hotels here, they have very unstable Wi-Fi. The one here hasn't worked at all since we've been here. So there's no way, if I'm not with them, to get any kind of information or anything to come my way. So I went to bed kind of anxious because, like, yesterday when we met Abdullah, he was like, I'm to 90% sure, but it's not fully confirmed, right? And his saying that it's not fully confirmed was he doesn't think it's fully confirmed until he gets the tickets. Well, so I went to bed and I kind of was like, oh, okay, because he said he would know later in the day. I didn't know when anybody would be back or anything like that. So then I woke up this morning and I was really anxious because I was like, okay, maybe the other 2 already know something and I don't. What if the answer is no? What if the answer is yes? Yada yada. How will I feel? I went for breakfast and then I met the guy who's in the group with me, and he was like telling me all about the festival, and I was like, I don't care about the festival. I was like, tell me if the Timbuktu was confirmed or not. And then finally, when I was just like couldn't deal with it anymore, I finally was like, I'm just gonna ask. And I was like, so well, Timbuktu, what? And then he literally was like, oh, you don't know? And the way he said it like that, of course, like for a moment, my heart stopped, and I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, it's confirmed, but it's confirmed for different dates from what we were told. So he told us that he was waiting for the confirmation for us to go from the 5th to the 7th of February. Now, supposedly, we are confirmed, but from the 7th to the 9th. So, of course, even though I said even confirmation doesn't mean a lot in Africa, because who knows, like everything is like very unstable, things can change all the time. So he was like, yeah, it's confirmed. But then later in the day, that's what the other guy, we actually met up with Abdullah, and then he was like, oh yeah, so I want to tell you, Marcus, because you weren't there, and I saw that you didn't see your messages, that yes, the thing was confirmed. The only thing is I don't have the tickets yet. I should get the tickets on Monday, which, by the way, I don't even know what day is today. Sunday, Saturday, or Sunday? What is today? I'm using my phone, so I can't check. So I was like, well, is it confirmed now? Because yesterday you were saying that you weren't sure it's confirmed because you didn't have the tickets yet. And now you're saying it, and then I just kind of had a little talk with him now. And he kind of was like, yeah, so, but how flexible are you? How flexible are you? And I was kind of like, well, I'm supposed to leave on the 11th. So I'm like, I mean, now the 9th is pushing it. I definitely would have preferred the 5th to the 7th, but that's where we're standing now. I think, like I said, I'm feeling okay-ish because he said it's confirmed. I mean, of course, that feels better than him saying it's not confirmed, but 100% I'm not going to feel happy till obviously I stepped foot into Timbuktu. But now he just told me, he was like, in Timbuktu we have to be really careful because they don't like pictures or anything like that. And I'm like, no, I need at least one picture of me in Timbuktu because like I told you guys, like I want to, I was kind of like, so I was like, I don't know what he means with how picky they're going to be with Timbuktu. I look like total crap, you guys. Ugh. When did I get so ugly? And now the herpes has gotten worse. It's here. It's on this side. And I'm like, if we do make it to Timbuktu, I am going to look like a complete and horrid monster in the pictures. So that's the update.
Women who cannot get children, who are sterile.
Bok 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 bok. Ah, good. Oh, it's working. Good.
I have a story to tell you guys today. Oof, drama today. And no real updates about Timbuktu. But I'll do that later. We just arrived in Sikasso. And now we're about to do some touristy stuff, even though I really just want to go to bed. I'm so tired. I am telling you guys, there's a little level of people not being able to be adult. Now it's like, because the woman in the group was fighting with the guy in the group who was being a chauvinistic pig towards her. Although this was her fault. And now she's running late and like no one's willing to get her. So I'm like, fine, oh my god, I'll get her. Like, god, you guys are all such babies. Alright, you guys, we are in Sikasa. And we are about to enter right over here, which is like an animist temple, worship place. Oh my god, you guys. I think God is trying to kill me on this trip. Like, from like all the things not working out, and then like breaking out, and then I got cold sores, and now I got a kidney stone. And I actually get kidney stones semi-regularly. Just another one of those things with my medical condition. Hooray. But this one was a really painful one, and so at one point I just was like, I just can't take the pain anymore. And then I was like, can you please take me to the pharmacy and just so I can take some pain medication? And I have food at the kind of my corner. That's attractive too. And man, those pills. I mean, I only took one. The pill that they gave me. Oh, that. I was high as a kite. I can't even believe it's 9 o'clock now. Like, I took that pill at 7, and I literally didn't feel like any time passed. I literally just now started sobering up probably within the last 20 minutes. And I looked at the clock, and I was like, oh my god, like 2 hours have passed. That's how high I was. I was completely out of it. And I'm just like, and there's still no super definitive. Oh, there was so much drama today. You know what? I'm too tired. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have some time and I'll have gotten kidney stone out of my system. Cause I knew the path to Timbuktu would be hard, but I was not expecting it to be painful. Hey, you guys. I know I look like complete crap and I don't give a fuck. Oh, I had such a terrible night. Yesterday was a really bad day. Like we drove for like 7 hours or something to come to Sikasso, and then literally there was like only 2 things to see here. This part of the program, and I was already really tired. And then the other 2, the woman and the guy in the group, they really started fighting over who gets to sit in the front seat. And it really got like really ugly, and I felt really awkward because literally I was in the middle seat, and then they were like trying to get me on their side, and then they were like yelling across at the tour guide, trying to get him to pick sides, and I just was like, I don't care, you guys. Like I don't feel good. I'm tired. I don't care about the front seat. I'm like, it's a 7-hour drive through Africa in a beat up old truck. Like, I don't care. Like, none of these seats are comfortable. This is not a comfortable trip, period. Like, I don't care. And then we got here, and the sights were nothing special, and Timbuktu still isn't confirmed. And, you know, for the last 2 days, I've kind of, for any of you guys out there who've already had kidney stones, you kind of know how it feels when you know you're about to have one. So I've had that for the last 2 days. And then we get to the restaurant to have dinner, and I don't know, I'm just going by what they call it on the internet, but like I could feel that the kidney stone dropped, which is when like the kidney stone stops floating around in the kidney and starts getting wedged into the urethra, and I was in so much pain. It was so bad. I'm like, I was just kind of like, I can't, like. And literally, like, tomorrow, if things go well, it's the day we're supposed to go to Timbuktu, and I was panicking because I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't be in so much pain and do this, and why is all this bad stuff happening? I mean, like, literally from, like, all the flights going wrong, the train rides going wrong, from getting cold sores, from breaking out, from being just completely exhausted, from having to constantly go through all this mental stress. And now, like, also the kidney, and like kidney stone, it's so painful. And like eventually it was so much pain I just couldn't take it anymore, and I asked them to drive me to the pharmacy, and I was just like, I used like Google Translate to be like, look, I have a kidney stone, I need really, really strong painkillers. And in my head I'm just like, I hope this is the kind of kidney stone that I can pass, because I don't want to end up having to go to the hospital when I could be going to Timbuktu, and after all they've done to do this. And then I took the pain meds, and they're really, really strong, and I was really kind of high for about an hour or so. And then we got back to the hotel, and I probably had another, I don't know, 45 minutes or so where it was like I could tell the pain meds were starting to wear off. So I tried to lay down and sleep. And then at some point the pain got so bad, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, because like the guy at the pharmacy said you can only take 2 of these a day. And I called my friend Natalia, because I was just like, I need somebody to distract me, and like she's a night owl. And we were talking, and then like eventually I was just like, I have to take another pill. And then I took that, and then like I don't know what happened, but then I got so nauseous and I threw up all over the sink and in the bathroom. And like, mind you, yesterday the only thing I had was breakfast, and then I had a little bit of the dinner, but not even that much, because I was so high at that time. Like I was just like, ooh. And I threw up whatever little bit of dinner I had. And then I tried to go to sleep, but I really couldn't sleep because I was just laying in bed, kind of anticipating for the pain to come back again. And I was just like, oh God. It's like, what if I just have to take massive pain meds? Or, because the thing is like, yeah, it's a very painful thing. Like many people have kidney stones. It's not like it's unique to me. But the thing is, I was like, you kind of, when you get a kidney stone, you're like, when it's painful, you're probably supposed to go and get it checked out to see if it's even small enough that you can pass it. Because if you can pass it, they want you to pass it. But if it's too big, then you're just, you need to get it operated out, or some of the other kinds of procedures. But and then I just woke up about 20 minutes ago, and I'm actually pain-free right now, which I'm so thankful for, because this kidney stone is really, it's a really, really bad pain. And the last time I had a really, really painful one was the one I had to get operated out in Azerbaijan. And like up until that point, I was like a massive milk drinker, because I love milk. Like it's, I think, to me, one of the most delicious things that's ever like on the planet. And up until that point, I used to drink like 3 or 4 glasses of milk every day. And literally that pain was so bad that even I was like, no, not even for milk will I go through that pain again. So I was like, I really haven't had any milk. Like I really now only allow myself milk when I'm traveling. And I try like the local milk. Because that was a pain I really never ever wanted to go through again. So like, I don't know, I'm sitting here and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to move because I'm not in pain right now. I guess it's possible that I already passed it, but it seems really quick, because like normally it takes several hours, sometimes even several days to pass. So I'm kind of like, okay, if I didn't pass it, maybe it dislodged from the urethra and is now floating around in my kidney again, which I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it is the thing that I passed it. But if it's just floating around my urethra, right, then that means it might just be, not my urethra, my kidney. It might just be floating around there for I don't know, could be an hour or two, could be a couple of days before the pain comes back. I'm just kind of like, I can't, like, oh. I keep thinking maybe God is really trying to tell me, like, this is the end of your travel life. Like, it's just the end. Like, I'm already mentally not really there anymore, and my body is just... Hello, you guys. Sorry for the weird angle. I need to get things done while doing this video because I need to get to bed. It has been 2 very, very long days. Tomorrow's gonna be a very, very long day. My hair is super long, so that's great. Wash my hands. This is what you guys come for, right? Terrible editing and lots of empty dialogue space. Oh my god. The thing I look forward to the most when I'm back in Europe is a long shower. I'm just gonna shower, maybe even take a bath, shower for 6 hours. I miss feeling clean. I want to be clean. Let's see what to tell you guys. So, I had that video yesterday, as you guys know. And yeah, yesterday I was in complete panic mode because when we were at dinner, like all of a sudden I could tell I was about to have a kidney stone, or I had a kidney stone. And then I had to like go to the pharmacy and get medication, and then I was really scared because tomorrow is when finally Timbuktu is going to happen, which was the whole point of me coming on this trip. And I was just like, oh my god, like I can't have a kidney stone now, especially because the last time I had a kidney stone, the last time I had a really painful kidney stone, I should say, I had to go to the hospital because I couldn't pass it because it was so big. And so of course I go right into panic mode. I'm like, oh my god, what if I, what if I can't pass it? And then like I was in so much pain, and yeah. And then like I told you guys, like I generally just don't do well on tours. I like the personality of the guy from Slovenia, because he's really upbeat and he's really fun, but like he is really sexist, and I am somebody who thinks of himself as a pretty hardcore feminist. So I don't know if in real life I could be able to be friends with somebody whose morals I don't agree with, right? Also, we're all starting to kind of butt heads at this point. More so, everyone's butting heads with the woman. I think at this point I'm the only one who's still trying to kind of get along with her. Because it's not like she's a bad person, but she is just for her, she doesn't understand that this is a group tour. Like, one of the reasons I also don't like going on group tours, or people always ask me, it's like, oh, you travel alone? I was like, yes, I prefer to travel alone. Because if I travel alone, I decide what I want to do, when I want to do it, where I want to go, how long I want to be there. If I go somewhere and I don't think it's interesting, then I leave. And that's just something how I prefer it myself. Because, I had to book into this tour, and yeah, to be completely honest, there was plenty of things on this tour that were not interesting for me at all. I was just like, if I came to Mali by myself, I would never have done this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I don't, like, we spent so much time at like different markets. I was like, the only market I would care to go to is like the artisanal one where you see like locally handcrafted items. And I was like, I don't need to go to like a regular market, like especially in Africa, they're selling the same crap they make in China that they do in almost all the third world countries because China is the #1 exporter of all crap. So I'm like, I don't want that. I don't give a shit about this. Yeah. And just overall, like, I feel like this is the trip that might actually finally kill me. Like, strike in Germany with the train, so I had to take that bus, and then because there was a strike in France, what should have been like an 8-hour bus ride turned into a 12-hour bus ride. Then I hurt my foot on the first day when I was in Paris and doing a little bit of tourist stuff there. And then, sorry, they told us for Timbuktu we can only take one small bag, so I need to repack tonight. Yeah, then like the horrible flight to come here, and then, like I said, there's a lot of things on the tour that I just wouldn't be interested in. And the thing is, like, Mali's a huge country, and as such, there's just huge distances, you know. Like, I actually feel like I would have been happier or in a better place today if I had skipped what we did. Because, like, basically, literally, yesterday we drove from here to a place called Sikasso to see two things. One was this really museum that was not good, and the other thing was like that cave that's like a holy place for animists or people who worship like nature and spirits and stuff. And that was interesting, but I was like, we drove for like 8.5 hours. We saw that. We literally went to the hotel, went to bed, this morning woke up and drove back for like 8 hours. And I'm like, I would not have had to have driven all the way to Sikasso. And then, of course, like I said, and then I had the kidney stone. And there's just been like huge distances in this country in general. Like, it's like almost every day we're in the car for a minimum of like 4 hours, but usually more around 6 hours. And although we saw some things where I definitely am like, okay, this is cool. I'm glad I got to see that. We also, like I said, we've gone to a lot of places where I'm like, can't believe I just spent 6 hours in a broken down van with two people who are fighting and like constantly on each other, and she's fighting with the tour guides and making stress for everybody. And I'm like, especially, oh man, and then they really got into it on the drive to Sikasso because I was sitting in the middle and I wasn't feeling good anyway. And then they were yelling at each other, and I was like, this is super awkward. So yeah, just like a lot of things are just not, it just seems like on every turn, there's something not working well on this trip. And I need to take this with me. And take this and this with me. Probably should put the camera down, so maybe I'll do that in a second. Sorry. That probably would make more sense. Bring you down to my level. There you guys are. Anyway, so, and like I said, I've been anxious about the whole Timbuktu thing anyway, since I got that email in France that they're like, we're probably gonna have to cancel it. But the guy here, I mean, obviously he doesn't want to give the money back because we paid a lot of money for this, right? And I mean, this is Africa, and because they, you know, they stopped giving out visas. You know, he doesn't know the next time he's going to be able to have tourists come and do things here. So, like, he definitely doesn't want to give back the money that we paid for the tour to Timbuktu. So he's doing like everything. He's workarounds and we were actually told that on Monday we would have already gotten confirmation. Then we didn't, and all this kind of stuff. Well, anyway, then today on the way back from Sikasso, we finally got confirmation, or rather we met up with him at his office here in Bamako again, and he was like, yes, it's confirmed, we're going tomorrow. There's only one little problem, of course, and that little problem is that because Timbuktu is like right on the border between where the Mali government still has control and where like all the crazy Boko Haram and jihadists are. As a foreigner, you can't go to Timbuktu without a security detail. And the thing is, usually you go for one day, so you pay like for that one day for the security detail, and you pay whatever the government thinks is the appropriate amount of people that should be in that security detail. So from what we were told is I think it's like 20 security guards, which is really weird to me. I've never been anywhere where I have personal security with me. Like, it's actually kind of frightening. And our tour guide, he was like, look, I try to ask them if they can bring it down to like only 5 security people because there are only 3 tours, and we don't need 20. But I guess supposedly they would not budge. They're like, no, if you want to come, you need to have all 20, yada yada yada. But now that means, of course, we have to pay for the extra security, and we're spending 2 nights there, which also actually makes me really nervous. One of the reasons I chose this tour is because it came with a flight going there in the morning, leaving in the afternoon, and now I'm like, oh my god, 2 days in Timbuktu, and we have to have security, and it's actually a little bit causing me anxiety, and I'm like, I don't know if seeing Timbuktu is worth potentially dying, you know. So that's where we are now. So tomorrow we are flying, I guess, and hopefully everything will go okay. Yeah. Hello, you guys. So we're at the airport, waiting to go in for the flight to Timbuktu. Last night there was a power outage, so I couldn't really charge my phone. The tour guide came down with malaria. So, I was like, maybe all this bad luck has to happen now so that nothing bad happens in Mali. I mean in Timbuktu. That's my big hope. Keep us safe in Mali and in Timbuktu. Okay, sorry. I'm obviously also very tired still. Our boarding pass? Look, it's a piece of plastic I've never seen before. How cool is that? So we're in the Louvre. I come here every time I come to France, and this is by far my favorite thing in the entire museum. If I can one time in my life find a man who will kiss me as passionate as just this statue is, then I found the right guy for my life. Hello, you guys. We are back in my hotel here in Paris. It's day 2 of this trip, the path to Timbuktu. I don't know what I told you guys this morning. I know it was not good. I woke up to that email. Sorry if I'm repeating a lot of things now, but I woke up to that email from the tour guide saying that we might have to cancel the part of going to Timbuktu, which of course totally freaked me out because it's really the only reason I'm even going to Mali. I mean, I don't really have any interest in Mali otherwise. And it's one of the last 2 of my world wonders. And there was a lot of back and forth if there was still some way that we could potentially do it. I don't want to say too much on it now, but we'll see. I haven't heard anything back since then. And tomorrow I fly. I really would have kind of liked to have had this all sorted out prior to going. Because now I might arrive there and they're going to be like, yeah, we're definitely not going to be doing Timbuktu. And I'm going to be like, well, then I really didn't need to come here. Even though I don't know if I would have gotten my money back if I don't go. Oh God, I don't know about this hair. Then, let's see. Today I went to the catacombs. You guys have already seen that video. Then I went to the Louvre. You guys have seen a video on that too. I love the Louvre. If you're one of those people who's going to be like, yeah, because it's all stolen and stuff. Wrong channel. I don't want to hear it. You obviously haven't traveled enough. Because if you had, you would have known that a lot of these beautiful antiques and stuff would not exist anymore if they were not taken from the countries that they're from. Especially like Egypt, Iraq, Iran, a lot of those places where there's always war. Okay, no war in Egypt, but where the people also don't really take a lot of pride and interest in their history. It was the same when I lived in Saudi Arabia. So many beautiful old history, and they did not care. They didn't even know. I had to ask my students, and I was always like, oh, what's there to see in Saudi? What should I do in Saudi? And they're like, go to Dubai. And I'm like, Dubai is not even part of Saudi. Can I just hang myself on this? You guys, I'm really tired. I'm exhausted. Things are not going well at all so far. Just one thing after another. Today also been having like a lot of troubles, like totally fucked up my feet or my foot, fucked up my left foot. I'm like, great. Just before I start a tour where there's going to be a lot of walking, I'm basically can't walk anymore. So that's also nice. I haven't eaten all day, just ordered something from Uber Eats. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. On the one hand, hope dies last, and I want to hope, but on the other hand, I don't know. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. My friend Bilgit would probably tell me that, you know, it's not that big of a deal. I should count my blessings, which I know. I always feel like I'm not entitled to say anything about my life because most people see my life as like the uber privilege, right? And also she would say she doesn't really like the way I travel. I used to be much more snobby about the way people travel, but since I've started becoming a world traveler and I've really seen how different people are in terms of their interests, that's one of those things where I really mellowed out. Like, I don't judge people by how they travel. Some people travel because they want to just hang out in a hotel and lay at the beach and have an all-inclusive experience because they're tired. They work all the time, right? Other people travel because they like extreme sports. Some people travel because they want to see art. Some people travel because they like food. And I'm somebody who wants to see the world wonders, right? Like my friend Billy kind of was always like, you just want to check the box. You just want to check the box. I'm like, I do want to check the box. Like I'm not saying I don't want to check the box. But at the same time, I actually also legitimately want to see these places, right? I don't know, but it's not looking good. And I don't know. You guys, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to react if they do finally say, nope, it's not going to happen. Because I'm so close, I'm so close. I'm so ready to actually finish this chapter of my life. Like, I don't want to get too sentimental, but like, if I wasn't even close, if I was like far away, like I only have 2 left. The other one being the Sydney Opera House, and it's like, that's not really one of the wonders on the list that I have to worry about, right? Like, I don't foresee the Sydney Opera House happening, or there a war breaking out in Australia, or they all of a sudden they just decide they don't give out tourist visas anymore unless maybe there's another pandemic or something. But like Mali just stopped giving out tourist visas, like this is the way it is in Africa. Like all of a sudden they're just like nope, or all of a sudden they're just not going to, they're going to close places and they're just not going to say that's not accessible or whatever, and it's such a, you have to get in right now. And that's part of the reason why I'm so panicky now, because it's like Mali's only been open again. Timbuktu's only been open again for a year. And like, I'm just really fearful if I don't get in now. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, if you don't get in now, you can always do it later. And I'm like, okay, anybody who's saying that doesn't know how things work in Africa. I will say one good thing though. This is my first time ever being in Paris, not for tourist reasons. I don't know, this is probably like my 4th or 5th time in Paris. And I've actually never liked Paris. I've always definitely been like Berlin or London, preferred it way to Paris. But this time, since I'm not actually technically here as a tourist, I know I did touristy things, but technically I'm not like, oh, I need to go to souvenir shops and I need to go to all, like, I don't even think I didn't see I saw the Eiffel Tower like once from like a distance. I didn't even I'm not going there. I'm not going to see the Arc de Triomphe. Other things. I only go to the Louvre because I really love the Louvre. I don't know. Every time I go to Paris, I've been in the Louvre, and I still don't think I've seen it all. It's just a huge, huge museum. But like this being the first time where I just kind of like walk around and like just look at things. I'm not really. I have to go there. I have to see this. I actually have to say, I think I have to change my opinion on Paris a little bit. It's actually a much more beautiful city than I've given it credit for in the past. So that's like the one positive thing that's come out of this. You guys wish me luck. I know you guys aren't even going to see this till after whatever happens, but wish me luck. Alright, you guys. We are at the Orly airport. Yes, I'm obsessed with my hair lately. I haven't liked my hair since I cut it. The newest update for Timbuktu is the tour guide basically saying, don't worry, we will figure out a way for you to get there. There is actual flights with Sky Mali that go to Timbuktu, but they only fly once a week. Which, I don't know, they're saying Timbuktu is safe, but I don't know if I feel comfortable staying there for an entire week till I can take the flight back. At the same time, worst case scenario, that's what I'm going to end up having to do. Because, I'm just one of those people. I'm like, in it to win it, right? Like, if I set a goal, I'm going to do everything in my power that I can achieve that goal. And then if I really feel like I've done everything and I still haven't been able to achieve the goal, then I will accept it. That it's just not meant to be. But I do believe in putting everything in my power into achieving the goal that I set before me. So yeah, we're at the airport. It was really funny. The lady who looked at my pass, she was so cute. I don't know, maybe like she was into me or something, but she was just like, oh, hi. Ooh. And then she didn't even really check my pass, and then I just walked through. She's like, okay, you can go. And then I was standing at the monitor trying to see like what terminal my flight is from. And then all of a sudden I hear her go, hey, hey, come back, come back. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, oh, I didn't even check if you have a visa for Mali. And I was like, yeah, I have a visa. And then she looked and she's like, oh, wow, you... Because, like, in France, they're not giving visas for Mali anymore. And I was like, yeah, I know, for, like, the last week, which is part of the reason we're having this drama with the tour. So I was like, yeah, I got pretty lucky that I asked for it early. And she's like, yeah, you're lucky.
Merci d'avoir patienté sur le vol Corsair 924 à destination de Fort-de-France. Nous poursuivons l'embarquement. Nous invitons en priorité les passagers business et premium à bien vouloir embarquer en porte F09. Suivi des passagers assis dérangés 20.
Well, now you know. If you didn't believe me that I'm actually really in the airport in France, now you will believe me. Where's my mic? Can you guys even hear me? I feel like maybe I was covering up the mic. Yeah, so anyway. But now I'm also a little bit worried. Having been to Africa a few times, I'm worried that with them stopping visas a week ago, that once I get there, they might give me a huge attitude and be like, oh, you know, you're technically not supposed to have a visa anymore. Who knows? You guys, it's a 10-hour flight, so feel bad for me. I know you guys don't, because everybody thinks I'm like the epitome of privilege, so I'm not entitled to having any kind of feelings of negativity about anything. Yeah. Hi. Es bleibt spannend. Hello, you guys. We are in Bamako. Look, it's my reflection. Oh god, oh my god. I told you guys I got super fat. It's all about angles, angles. It is, I think, 12 or 12:30 at night. I will say that immigration and everything went relatively quick. They did for 1 second go like, I was like, I need the stamp, because they just waved me through, and then the guy was like, you have to pay me. And I was like, no, you have to give me a stamp. And then finally he did it, but still, I'm like, but yeah, I'm here. Look how huge this bathroom is. This is actually a pretty cute hotel. Pleasantly surprised to see the bed is hard as a rock. I'm totally confused, you guys. Like, what's going on? Because I was told, sorry, I just had to read this sign on the door. I was told that there was 6 of us, but only 1 person could get their visa. Now I just talked to the guy here, and he's saying, no, there's like a Chinese lady. That's it. And I don't know. But then he said again he's gonna work on an alternative plan to get me to Timbuktu. Guys, please cross your fingers, because I really, really do. I mean, now I know. And I have gray hair too. Ugh. You know, you guys just need to unsubscribe. I've gotten so fat and ugly and annoying. Okay, I'm too tired. I can't make this video now. I'm delirious. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Bye. Hello, you guys. We're in CB. All right, this is going to be my hotel for tonight. And later we're going up to this arch. Let's go inside and take a look. That's my bed. It's actually kind of cute, but I admit it, I'm a spoiled European. I assume I will not be getting the best night's sleep here. But it is super cute. Alright, I just showed you our hotel, or my hotel room. Let me show you our toilet. Toilet. And no washing ability from what I can tell. Very beautiful.
Before you come here, your business there, your work there was too slowly. So you don't have much income.
I will go Algeria. Hello you guys. So it's my first full day in Mali. Today we were in CB, the CB area. Let's say the things I really liked first. So oh my god, right now the night sky is gorgeous, right? Like obviously with all the light pollution in the Western world, you don't get to see like the stars and stuff. It's so beautiful. Like, oh, it's like I was just looked at that forever. Overall today, I don't know if I would say it was crazy exciting for me. The potential good news is that the tour guide found maybe a workaround that we could still get to Timbuktu. Which I already mentioned, like my whole point of coming here was for Timbuktu. So I'm really, really hoping, but it's not going to be for another 5 days. And until that happens, I'm going to be feeling anxious. Yeah. Tour guides were really nice. Actually, the one tour guide we had today, like, I'm gonna put in the video, like he did some kind of divination thing for me, you know, like with like the sand and stuff. So that was pretty cool, and he's super cute. And I don't know, I kind of got the vibe he was looking at me. But like Africa is super homophobic, so nothing would come out of that anyway. What else? I'm already so tired. Oh, I was gonna tell you guys about like the bathing thing. I mean, Africa's just a whole different thing. Like even when I lived in Tanzania, right? Like it was like running water was a sometimes kind of thing. A shower was a sometimes kind of thing. Most people, they just, you know, use a bucket with water and just kind of like wash themselves this way. But where we're staying now, like I showed you a video of the thing, like there's no restroom or anything here. So literally it was like I had to that toilet I showed you guys, on the one side was the toilet, on the other side was like a little stool, so you wash. So like I literally was like washing myself, and people could have just like walked in or whatever. You know, there's no roof, no nothing. Like I was like, this is a whole new level of, you know, no privacy. But again, it was kind of cool, like washing yourself and being able to look at the night sky and all the beautiful stars. I say scars. That was really beautiful. Nature-wise, Africa is so beautiful, but it's just always such a headache coming here and having to deal with all the corruption, and it's so expensive. Like you have to pay so much for every little thing, like because it's just not set up for tourism, right? Yeah, I think the only other thing I was gonna say is I feel like, so there's actually only 3 of us, and there's 2 tour guides, and they're both men, and 2 of us are men. There's only 1 woman in the group, and I actually like had a moment where I kind of was like, I took all the other men in the group aside, because I was like, you know, this is where you can tell that I do think women, like I always said, like I've always been more of a supporter of women than pretty much any other minority, because in this day and age, I'm like sitting there and like one of the guys, the other guy that's in the tour with me, like I don't want to say he's a bad guy, but then it's at the same time it's like really objective. I'm kind of like, different cultures, the way they interact with women, like, you know, am I just looking at this from a perspective of somebody who comes from Germany and the way we think is appropriate to treat women versus how people from other cultures do? But like at some point, like he said something like, oh, I could really use a massage, and then it turned into like this joke where he was kind of like telling the woman in the group like, oh, you should give me a massage, you should give me a massage. And it was like, for me it was never funny, I just thought it was kind of cheesy. But you could tell like the first time he made that joke, she kind of was like ha 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 and like laughed it off. But then it was like he made it again and again, and then the tour guide also started being like, yeah, you should give a massage, you should. And like you could tell the look on her face, like it just started to turn into this, like she was feeling really uncomfortable. So like at some point, like she got up, I don't know, to like check into her hut, and I told them, I was like, you guys, like we need to stop with this like massage joke. Like she's not comfortable, it's getting kind of creepy and icky. And then they only stopped for like maybe an hour, and then they went right back to it. But then I have to say, like, you know, like I tip my hat to women who have the courage to, you know, travel the world, especially in places like this where women just aren't valued the same. You know, it's just the way it is. I to this day think the best way to travel is to be a gay man, because men have the freedom to go everywhere they want to go. If you're, let's say, you could pass for straight. You're not going to be harassed. You're going to be accepted in every country. You're more so than women, you know. But at the same time, like if you're gay, you have like a community to some degree everywhere you go. So I don't know. But yeah, that's just my little update on the road to Timbuktu, which I think is going to be the title of this video. We'll see what happens. I'll keep doing little videos. Keep your fingers crossed for you guys. Like, I'm so anxious about this whole situation. And I just found out that there was a different tour company that literally left on the 27th. I got here on the 28th. So literally if I just moved this with a different tour company 2 weeks earlier, I would have been able to go because they went. So I'm just like, like, so I don't know. I'm anxious. Yeah. Let's hope it works. You need to leave me alone, dog. Stop following me. What is with you? This dog has been following me since we got here. He went into my hut with me. This morning he was sitting outside the hut, and now we went to the bathroom and there's no doors. No, Shoo. I don't want you in the bathroom with me. Hey. Look at this plant. It's so beautiful. You guys see that? I've never seen a plant like this before. If anybody knows this plant, please put it in the comments. It's gorgeous.
I will let you know if I see somewhere.
Alright, you guys, we made it to San. This is the twin mosque to the one in Dijon, which, from what I've been told, you're not allowed to go to anymore. That's why this one is the one on the thing. This is so incredibly beautiful. But the light is not working in our favor right now. This is my tour guide trying to negotiate for us to be allowed to see the inside. But from what I've been told, chances are not that good. Hello, you guys. What is today? Is it my third day? My second full day in Mali. Hi! Woo! Today we are in San. Today's been a pretty long day because it's been a lot of driving. We just saw one of those mosques that's kind of like the same one you would see in Dijon and Timbuktu, and that was really, really wonderful. Like, I feel like when I remember, like, I had this one person who started following me on YouTube a long time ago, and he was like, I don't know, after I'd been on YouTube for, 5 or 6 years, he was kind of like, your channel seems to be getting darker and less about, like, happiness and stuff like that. And I think, it's kind of sad to say out loud, but it is the simple truth that it doesn't matter what it is you do in life, everything is going to start, you're going to start comparing. You just can't help it. That's human nature. You're going to start comparing. You're going to start going like, okay, well, this was like this, but this was like that, and these two things were kind of similar, and blah, blah, blah. And it's going to just constantly take more and more to excite you and to impress you. And I have traveled a lot by this point in time in my life. So it's getting more and more difficult for me to be wowed and amazed, you know what I mean? And I think that's maybe part of the reason why, like, some places people will go there and be like, wow, it's so amazing, and then somebody will ask me and I was like, it was okay. Because it's like, how many colonial cities can I see in South America? I mean, I think they're absolutely beautiful, but I'm like, is the one in Ecuador all that different from the one in Peru, all that different from the one in Colombia? Not really. They're beautiful, but you're not going to be wowed by the same type of architecture over and over again, right? Same thing with, like, churches in Europe. There's a lot of really beautiful churches in Europe, but am I going to be wowed every single time? You guys kind of get the picture of what I'm saying. So I'm just saying, like, the thing that I'm really enjoying about Mali is the fact that it is very different architecturally. So like seeing this mosque was actually really, really cool for me, because I was like, okay, this is something very different for me once again. It's like really just kind of be like, okay, this is new, this is different, I haven't seen this 1,000 times. So that was really nice. We also drove through the town of Segeu, something like this. That was a really cute town. I'm glad that like we're gonna, if the schedule stays the way it is, it's changed, and I'll talk about that in a second. If the schedule stays the way it is, then we're going to be moving from San up to Mopti. We're gonna try to get into Dijen, but Dijen has been closed for I don't know how long, and from what I've been told, no one's been able to get in for even since Mali reopened to tourism, and now it's closed to tourism again, as I mentioned already. So I don't know what's gonna go like. And actually, Dijen after Timbuktu would have been the second thing I'm the most interested in seeing. Although the tour guide said that the mosque here in San is basically a twin mosque to the one in Dijen, it's just a little bit smaller, but like architectural style, everything is the same. Yeah, then we're gonna go to Mopti, and then after Mopti, we're gonna go back down to Segua or whatever. Which, by the way, we stopped there today for lunch, and we were in this. What is that? Oh no, I think I got bit. We stepped in this like cafe, which was really good, by the way. It had the best food we've had since I've gotten to Mali. And there was these two gay guys in there. It was so funny, and they were just like, and I was like, but they were not as cute as the tour guide. The tour guide in CB. The tour guide in CB was really cute. I was really kind of like, all right, I see you, Molly. I see what you got. Thought I heard something. Yeah, saw a lot of baobab trees today. I love baobab trees. I think they're so beautiful. Like I already mentioned this to you guys already. Like nature in Africa is just, it's really hard to beat. I have to say the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in terms of nature or national parks or whatever was Canaima Park in Venezuela. I mean, nothing's even gotten close to that. That is the most beautiful piece of Mother Nature I've ever seen in the world. Like, it's just ridiculously gorgeous. But Africa is definitely really close. Like, the Serengeti and all of, I mean, that was in Tanzania. But even here, like, it's just, like, nature-wise, Africa is just incredibly gorgeous. I'm trying to think, is there anything else to tell you guys about today? Anyway, so the thing is, we left CB yesterday. Like I said, we slept in one of those. I actually slept pretty decent. I did get bit. Damn it. And I can hear the tour guide and stuff. I guess Mali is playing against some other African nation today. They're all outside watching. Yeah, but then we went back from CB. We drove through Bamako and met the main guy who actually owns the company, and he told us that I don't know, like on the one hand, he gave us a new schedule. He kind of told us there's an updated schedule of what's going to happen in terms of Timbuktu, and he already made the schedule, which on the one hand made me think that, okay, this has already been figured out. But then, like, when he talked about it, he's kind of like, yeah, I'm working on it. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, is it figured out or is it not figured out? I'm not 100% sure. But if I understand him correctly, the new plan, because the other, like I said, all these people couldn't get their visa. The one person they still thought might potentially get it was also denied. He's not getting a visa. And they said it's just not feasible for us to do a charter plane, which was the original plan, because it's just way too expensive. So now I'm not completely sure if he said that we would take like a humanitarian, like a UN flight. We would like jump onto their flight and fly up and back with them, or if we would take the regular Sky Mali flight and then fly back with a humanitarian flight, something like this. You know, I'm still not completely sure if it's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen. It's on the itinerary now, but I'm gonna be nervous till I actually set foot into Timbuktu, you know. Oh, you know what I did think about today though is like one of the things I've been kind of upset with myself about is that I kind of have been feeling like I've stopped being in the moment. I think for me, especially since Corona times, things have changed. I think before Corona times, I was way more actually enjoying the moment of the traveling, you know. But then like with Corona, I think everybody kind of felt a sense of losing control, you know, because it's all of a sudden I was told you're not going to be allowed to leave your house. You're not like, I mean, like not just me, but everybody, right? And this loss of sense of control and just getting older and with my medical condition and all these things kind of piling up, I've reached like this level of anxiety about my travels now where I just feel like I'm just a lot of times not in the moment. And I'm constantly just like, oh my God, what if something happens and I can't finish my list, you know, which I think is really, it's not nice. I don't want that. That's not why I started this. I mean, this started off as like, this was the dream that I wanted to do. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of started turning more into work, which is just really gross to think about for me. But yeah, but then today, because there's two other people in the group that I think I told you about, and the woman I talked about, where I was kind of like, I feel really bad for her because I think they're just making so many inappropriate jokes. Today again, I was just nonstop massage. You should give me massage, and I just kind of was like, I told them yesterday, I was like, can you leave her alone? Like, first of all, she told everybody that she has a boyfriend. It's kind of like, she is not interested in giving you guys a massage. Like, you're being so creepy and nasty. But yeah, but the thing is, like, what I will say, and I'm like, this is just me, what I think is just not the correct way to treat women. This is not me saying that I think, like, to be honest, I actually find her super annoying. Like, she's just on her phone all the time. She doesn't look left, she doesn't look right. Anywhere we stop, she just gets out, takes out her camera, takes 6,000 pictures, most of them selfies, and then she's right back on her phone. Like the moment, like, and then she's just editing on her phone and uploading them, and you know, and I'm just like, you're definitely like not my person. I mean, like, again, she can travel however she wants, but I'm kind of like, you're here, you know, be in the moment. And in that moment, when I thought about that today on the drive, because like the other guy was sleeping, she was on her phone. I was like the only one really taking in our surroundings, and I was like, you know, maybe it hasn't become as bad as I think it is. Like, I seem to still manage to be in the moment more often than I think. So that kind of made me happy. But yeah, slept long and well last night. Today we're in a place where there's actually like a shower, so that's good. Because that little whore bath from yesterday was not for me, not for my liking. Yeah. And es bleibt spannend. Still seeing if it's gonna happen, you guys. Wish me luck.
Allemagne. L'homme est slovénien.
The place that they keep, they keep food. You see, this
Hey, you guys. We're on our way to Mopti. Then we stopped in this little village to look at these granaries. And because of something that just happened, I had kind of a little bit of an epiphany. I think I told you guys that the guys in this group are being really misogynistic towards that girl. Woman, sorry. But at the same time, I gotta tell you, I am not a fan of hers. Like we're telling her we're leaving at this time and she's late. Then we've told her a couple of times don't take videos of military, and she has. And it's just I don't know, just the level of entitlement and selfishness. I think that's one of the big problems. One of the big problems of my generation and the generations after. We're just too entitled, and we just constantly think that the whole world revolves around us and what we want. And that's all we really think about is just how to make ourselves happy. And then in fact, what happens is we're a sad generation with happy pictures. But there's no real happiness in this selfishness all the time. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the things why I feel like maybe I'm actually feeling less attached to traveling as I used to. Because I think I'm just... Hello! I'm just ready to move into a chapter of my life that isn't so... Yeah, I'm very glad that I've been given this opportunity. At the same time, it is a very selfish thing. It's just completely narcissistic and me and what do I want, and I don't know. I don't think in the long run that's where happiness is, and I don't think that's where fulfillment is either. I don't know. All these things just kind of came to me because she tried to take pictures of military stuff, and I'm like, if you ruin my chance to get to Timbuktu because of your selfishness, and not just that, but also the tour guide, right? This is his money and his career, and it's the Gen, which is the place that we can't go to, is closed because a tourist went there and started taking pictures of things they weren't allowed, and they closed it off for everybody, right? I'm just kind of I don't know. How are you guys? Okay, this mosque, you guys, is insane. Wow.
Okay, you can go more.
What kind of fish is this? Is it really dry?
Okay.
Hello, you guys. Oh man, so we just got back from seeing the mosque in Mopti. It was amazing. The mosque was amazing. It was really beautiful. I was already kind of worried because yesterday we saw the one in Sun, and I was like, oh, well, all right. After seeing the picture of the one in Dijen, but the one in Jen is closed, like, to tourism. And the one in Mopti is like the second largest or something like that. But that was really amazing. It's so beautiful. An incredibly unique style to this part of the world that I've never seen, so that was really awesome. Less awesome, of course, afterwards is we went through the fishing market, and you know, you guys have already seen the videos. It is very dirty. Just basically people living in garbage and fishing in garbage and bathing in garbage, and you know, little girls and little boys were there. I think I included a video. Basically just picking through the garbage to see if there's any last remnants of anything that could be salvageable and used. So that is one thing, even though I feel like I'm kind of over this chapter of my life, that is one thing that I feel like that is something that always humbles me like crazy. You know, like in the Western world, like this is like I've told so many of you guys, people who follow my channel, I've said many times already, like why I cannot get myself to give a shit about people's ridiculous pronouns and like all the like the ridiculous issues we have in the West. They're just not like, when you see a baby playing in a pile of garbage, and that's not shocking at all in this part of the world. It's just kind of like, yeah, that's just what kids do. They play in the garbage. It's like, you're just not gonna have the patience to sit around and listen to people going like, I use neopronouns, or I'm gender non-fluid, or you know, I work too many hours. Oh my gosh, I have to work a 40-hour work week. Ugh, life is so difficult. It's pretty ridiculous. It's actually really ridiculous. But yeah, no new updates about Timbuktu. The tour guide told us yesterday when we saw him that he's working on a plan B. I told you guys, like a humanitarian flight and stuff, so I guess no news is good news. We'll see. But I'm very anxious, and I'm gonna be anxious until the moment that shall I step foot into Timbuktu, I guess. So wish me luck, you guys.
Yes, it's nice.
Look at the bats, you guys. Oh my gosh. They're coming for, oh my god, so many. Here we are in the middle of nowhere. We have the Niger River and our hotel here in Segu. This is actually really cute looking from here. Let's check out the inside. Hi. This is pretty cute. Oh, cool. Oh, this is super cute. That guy's pretty cute too. And he's working it. Oh, this is really cool. And here is my room. The other guy got the best room this time, in my opinion. And the bathroom, he has separate shower from toilet. This is pretty cute. Probably the cutest hotel we've stayed in so far. Have I said that for all? The other one that we stayed in Mopti was also super cute. But yeah, this one also, the outside is super cute. But very bad smell. Maybe because it's right by the Niger River. But the smell in the bathroom is really bad. Alright, you guys. We're about to go into the Segu Mask Festival. And yes, I know my hair is crazy. I don't know what's going on.
Dukayito sanna kasamma file amafoye fokeneba. 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 Dukayito sanna kasamma file amafoye fokeneba.
Hello, you guys. Today might be. Oh my god, look at this huge zit I got. Tonight might be a little bit of a longer video because I have a lot of thoughts going through my head. Starting with, still being really anxious about Timbuktu not happening. The other guy on the tour today kind of was like, "You actually think it's still gonna happen?" And that kind of shattered me because I'm really trying to hold on to the hope that it will. But in Africa, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah. Don't worry. And then in the very end, they're going to be like, yeah, it's not going to happen, right? So, there's definitely a very strong possibility that it won't happen. Then I also saw some pictures that one of the other people on the tour took of me, and it's like, I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable in my body, probably for about a year now. I think I told you guys already, I went up to about 90 kilos. I'm probably now around 88. But considering most of my life, I was somewhere around 75 kilos. I mean, that's a lot of extra weight. And even though I know I'll never ever be super skinny again, it is kind of shocking for me when I look in the mirror right now and I'm just not in the mirror, when I look at some of these pictures. Because sometimes when I look in the mirror, you know what it is? When I look at myself straight on, I actually don't feel like I look that fat. But I've gotten very wide, when you look at me sideways. So in the picture, I'm sitting and it's obviously sideways. I just look so wide. I'm just not, I don't know. It's that's bumming me out. And Africa always kind of messes with me anyway. It's just, it's a tough place, and then the things you have to see every day and having to try to, put yourself in a mental space to be okay with seeing the things that you do, because life here is not, the other day when we Mupti yesterday, I did a video and you saw all these old kids just rummaging through garbage trying to find random things that could still be used or sold or something like that, But I'm also have to say I'm just not somebody who's good with tours. The two people that are on the tour with me, I already told you guys, there's one woman and the rest of us are all guys, and I have to say, the guys are being so gross and creepy with her, so in that sense, I really feel sorry for her. I said, I asked them to stop making that stupid massage joke, but they're still making it. On the other hand, even though I feel bad for her, I also have to say I actually find her super annoying because she just does not listen to the instructions. She's late everywhere. She always has to ask 6,000 times. The tour guide will be okay, the next thing we're gonna do is go see this mosque. She's where are we going? Where are we going? Oh, we're going to the mosque, or we're going somewhere else? Where are we going? I'm just I don't know, and then I also have to say, it's just weird to me because on the one hand, it's solo woman traveler, she's all I'm a woman and I can do everything and I'm equal and all this kind of stuff, which, me as a big feminist, I'm all about that. At the same time, then today, it was her turn to sit in the middle because we've kind of been doing this chair switching thing where everybody gets to sit in the front of the car and then, whatever. And she just was not having it. She's I'm not going to sit in the middle. And then finally we were why can't you sit in the middle? And she's it's your turn to sit in the middle. Why should you always get the good seat? And she's well, because I don't feel comfortable sitting between two men. Now, I think, especially with the way these guys have been acting, on the one hand, I have to say I think that's a very legitimate argument. Because probably if I was her, I would also not feel comfortable sitting between two men in this group. However, this is where I'm going to get in trouble with any of the women who watch my channel. I am one of those people who's like, I've said it a million times, I'm like, you reap what you sow. And I think people need to start taking way more accountability for their actions. If a woman walks around bare naked through Central Park, does that mean she deserves to get raped? No. Is it right if she does get raped? No. But is she completely innocent in the situation? Like, for me, no. You have to take personal responsibility and have a little bit of common sense. So on the one hand, I'm like, okay, now you're trying to play the whole, but I'm just a woman and I don't feel comfortable sitting between two men. But then every day she's been walking around with like a little mini crop top and little tight pants. And I'm like, which is not appropriate anyway here. Not only because of the climate and everything, but this is a Muslim country and all the other women are covered head to foot. So I'm kind of like, okay. And then she today, because like she ended up being like, I'm not going to sit in the middle. And then she actually fell asleep, kind of like laying on the guy who's been making all the massage comments. So I'm kind of like, okay, you can't feel that uncomfortable around us if you feel comfortable to fall asleep and put your head on his shoulder. So I kind of was like, this is a bunch of, like, it's like, this to me is one of the things where I think feminism loses a lot of supporters, especially male supporters. Because I'm like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't want equality when it suits you, but then want the perks that come with being a woman, like, you know, being picked up, having dinner paid for you, the guy holding the door open, you getting the best seat. You can't have both. It's like you either get equality or you get the other thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have both. That's just not, like, I'm sorry, that's just how life works. So I don't know, like, in that sense, like, she's kind of getting on my nerves too. But then today, really, like, because she's really, really getting on the tour guide's nerves. And then today, of all things, the two of them really got into it because he ordered the wrong lunch thing that she wanted. And she, like, ugh, so many mosquitoes in this room. And she got really upset about it. She's like, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. You told me something else. Now I don't want blah, blah, blah. And he was just getting really just kind of like upset about it because we didn't really have that much time. And he's just kind of like, oh, like, bitch, just basically eat what I fucking gave you, you know, kind of a thing. And then the guy who keeps making the massage joke, I can't believe this came out of his mouth because he's technically from, like, I don't know why I said technically. He's from Europe. My friend Natalia is going to get mad at me. You know, we always make jokes about, like, Eastern Europe is not Europe. And he's from Eastern Europe. So, yeah, and then he literally said, he was like, May, you need to just, you know, sometimes in life you can't get what you want. I want to sleep with you, but I can't sleep with you. And I just, like, I looked at him and I, like, elbowed him. And I was like, I gave him this look like, what the fuck? Like, did you really just say that? Like, how in any way, shape, or form did you think that was an appropriate thing to say? Ever. To anyone. Like, I was, oh my God. Like, I'm just like, this group. And then, like, maybe the Timbuktu thing isn't going to happen. I'm just like, I don't know. And then I'm feeling kind of gross and yeah, and then, like, for those of you guys who follow my channel, you know, I've been talking a lot about, you know, not sure if this is the life I still want to live, and I'm feeling so torn about that part, you know, because even I was talking with my friend Bilgit, and, you know, she was kind of saying, like, this life doesn't, like, it seems like this life at this point is really just tearing you apart. She's like, you need to just leave it. Like if it's not your passion anymore, if it's not where your happiness and your interests lie anymore, then just leave it. And
Excuse me. And like I said, like my thing right now is just like I'm so close to the end. And I have so much internal fear that if I don't finish this, right now I know that it doesn't feel right anymore. It doesn't feel right to me anymore at all. Like the fact that before coming to here to Mali and just being told that Timbuktu is probably not going to happen literally had me break. I literally had like a full on, like, I don't know what you call it, like a breakdown. Like I was crying like crazy. Like it's not, and like not in a normal way that somebody would react to a trip. Like literally going like, this is not a normal reaction to being told that a trip's not going to happen. But I think, like I said, so much of it is I'm so close. And in my head, even though I know this is not where my head is anymore, and this is not the life I want to live anymore at this point, I also know that it doesn't feel right to me to stop so close to finishing, especially because I live with so much fear of, will I regret things in the future? So much of what is driving me in life right now is not even enjoying the things I'm doing in the moment, which is such a sad way to live, in my opinion. So much of it is like, I need to do these things now. I need to put all these hardships on me now. I need to do all these things that don't actually feel right to me right now. Because if I don't, in 10 years, I'm probably going to regret it. And I don't want to do that. Like, I always when I see older people or like elderly people, the way you can always tell the difference between the ones that are happy in their old age and the people who are bitter and angry in their old age. The ones who are bitter and angry are the ones that just have a shit ton of regret for their life because they didn't take the opportunities or they didn't go after that person that they thought was supposed to be their true love or whatever. And then in their old age, they're bitter and angry and resentful and they're just bleh. And I'm like, that is not how I want to go into death. Like, I want to go into death and be kind of like, you know what? I'm close to death, but it's okay because I have a minimal amount of regrets. I mean, like, everybody has regrets. Anybody who says I don't have any regrets is a freaking liar. Nobody has no regrets. Everybody has regrets for something. But like, to minimize that, right? But sometimes I'm really just kind of like, I'm putting all this on me for this worry of regret. Ooh, that is a huge ant. Ooh, don't kill me. I don't know, you guys. I'm feeling really emotionally drained, and I just feel like it sounds so weird, and I feel like it probably, like, it sounds weird to say it out loud, but also I just feel like I feel like I'm really scared of the judgment I'm going to get from people. Because for everybody on the outside, you know, they're just kind of like, you're living a dream life. You're living a dream life. But like, how incredibly physically and mentally and spiritually draining it is, I think is something that you can't understand unless you actually live it. I just really want like Timbuktu. I just really want this to work. And then I can just do the Sydney Opera House. That's my last world wonder if Timbuktu works out. And then I feel like after that, there's only maybe like 5 or 6 more countries that I want to see. But with those, I feel like I could probably
even just get a normal life, a normal job, and go and see those places in like a regular 2-week vacation. I don't know, you guys, I don't know. I'm so anxious. Tomorrow we're gonna see the main tour operator, and I'm so torn between being like, I need to ask him right away if it's confirmed. If it's confirmed, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? But then at the same time, like, I don't want to ask because I've become so superstitious, and it's kind of like, even every time somebody in the tour brings up Timbuktu, I keep going like, if, oh, there's something, gotcha, haha, gotcha. I generally don't like, mosquito smudge. That's attractive, huh? You probably should wipe that off, huh? Yeah, I've become really superstitious about it. So it's like, I don't even want to bring it up because I'm like, if I bring it up, the answer is going to be no. If I say this in this way, karma's going to hit me and it's going to be no. Like, and I'm just really scared that he's going to say no. Because of right now, like I said, that whole humanitarian thing would be on the 5th. I think tomorrow's the 2nd of February. So I'm kind of like, if I don't ask, I have 3 more days of pretending and being hopeful that it will happen. But like I said, the other guy on the tour was like, you actually still think it's going to happen? No, did I mention that already? Yeah, I mentioned that at the very beginning of the video. Like, he said that today, because I kind of was like, if Timbuktu happens, would you mind being able to take like a certain picture that I would like to have? Because for my World Wonder list, I always take like one very cheesy pose picture, because at some point in time, I'd like to hang up my World Wonder list, because I always put the dates of when I was there, and then the pictures around of me in those places. And then he looked at me and he was like, you actually think Timbuktu is still going to happen? And I was like, I hope so. And another. Sorry for any vegans or vegetarians watching, going like, you're killing these things, but I don't want to get malaria. Even though I'm taking malaria prophylaxis. I'm just going to end this video. Like, what is this even video about? I need to pop this humongous zit on my face. And I need to go to bed. Take care, you guys. Wish me luck. Uh-huh. Wow, you have a story to tell, huh? What? Oh, finished already, Maya. So quick.
Why? His color is black. His color not black.
Espera, tot money, but my color is not black.
How much time we have?
You have time.
Half hour.
Half hours?
2 minutes? 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
It's up to you.
Good. I'm not art teacher.
Yeah.
Je ne suis professeur de art. Professeur de mathématiques.
Where should you teach the mathematics? The primary, secondary school, grammar, college?
It depends. I go by what country I want to go to, and then I just apply for whatever position they have. So sometimes teaching high school, sometimes.
But you know a lot to also the teach a college.
I teach adults only twice, but there was.
Is it okay?
English.
I can.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be so long. Here we are at the Niger River. I'm only showing you guys the nice part. You don't want to see all the garbage we're walking on. Alright, you guys. Oh, now I'm not sure what I'm allowed to do because they said no military, and the military just pulled out over there. But this is the main thing we've been waiting for here in Timbuktu. God is good. Oops. I'm trying to not get the military people.
This is the old university of Timbuktu. The place was university before to become a mosque.
Brother!
Every year.
We did it, you guys. We made it to Timbuktu. Now we're at the High Library. There's some of the security with us. That's one of only 6 cars, which are technically we're not supposed to have in video. Okay, let's go. You guys, I feel so grateful and so humbled. This trip has been the trip of hell, and up until the very last moment I was like, I don't know if it's gonna happen, if it's gonna work. Yeah, and here it is. As thankful as I am, and I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. For anybody else who's planning on or thinking about being a world traveler, I recommend don't go by a list. Because especially, I'm trying to think, Timbuktu was a real heartache. These other ones. Yeah, I would say that was this one was the biggest heartache, just because of the whole situation here. Like we have to spend 2 nights, which actually makes me a little bit nervous. You can tell that no one stayed in this hotel in ages. Like all the other tours that come to Timbuktu literally come in, spend the day, and leave. I would say the other one that's a little bit like really was very expensive and a little bit of a pain in the butt was the Moai Easter Islands, just because it's a very expensive flight, and then you have to stay in all the hotels are very expensive. You see everything there is to see on that island in one day, and then you're stuck there for a minimum of I think 2 days until the next return flight. And every day you have to pay taxes on it, so that was also, yeah. But thank you, God. Thank you, God. guys. I love this thing. Isn't it so gorgeous? Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Timbuktu, you guys. We made it. Let's see. Yesterday, yesterday we flew here. Up until the very last moment, I was very, very unsure if it was actually going to happen. Like, actually, I kind of was like, this is not going to happen anymore. I can't. Like, so when we finally sat down in Timbuktu, I was like, okay, we almost made it. Or, and I think I told you guys, like, so we had to keep security. I didn't even know this, but just last September was the last time there was an attack here, a terrorist attack. So it was really weird. Like, we got picked up and there was like 2 police cars or military cars in front of us. There was like another 4 behind us. Everywhere we went in Timbuktu, we were like having military guard. One of the rules while we were here was that you cannot take pictures of anybody, military, police, anything like that. It's a major taboo. More on that in a second because there's some drama to tell you guys. And yeah, they followed us everywhere. They took us everywhere. It was so weird. Like we crossed the street and the military people would be in front of us and like stopping traffic and so that we could walk through. Like, I've never experienced anything like this before. So after all of this that's gone through, I'm still a little bit feeling my kidney stone. It's kind of starting to pass through. I can still feel like the pressure and stuff. It's a little bit uncomfortable. And, now we had to do, I think I told you guys in the last video, we now had to pay even an additional 420 euros because the military unit here wouldn't allow the tour to happen with less security. So they have a certain amount of security that they expect. If you are a group of 15 people or we were just a group of 3, they're like, no, this is the amount of security you have to have or you're not coming here. So the 3 of us had to make up for the cost in security. So that was another 420 euros on top of that. So as you guys can probably already guess, paid a lot of money to come here. A lot of personal drama, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worrying, a lot of last minute changes. So now you guys are probably like, is it worth it? I'm having a hard time, and I have to say I have a hard time answering this question because I think if Timbuktu would be a place that you could just visit easily, I would say this is some place I would definitely recommend people come and check out. Like, if it was a place where literally you just fly to Mali and then fly to Timbuktu, spend a day or 2, and then fly back, I would be like, yes, it's 100% worth it. It's very unique. You're not going to see anything like this, outside of this part of Western Africa. Definitely, I've never seen anything like this. It was really breathtaking, especially the first mosque. They even let us go inside. It was beautiful inside. It was so unique and something I've never seen. So that was very, very amazing. Alhamdulillah. And so I would say yes. I would say yes in that sense. But for all of the incredible high cost, the security, I'm actually really I'm going to be a little bit anxious and nervous till we leave Timbuktu. And I'll tell you guys a little more drama that happened today. In that sense, I have to say no. From all the world wonders I've seen, I could probably only tell you maybe 3 that I would say are even worth going through all the drama and all the heartache and all this kind of stuff that I went through to get here. And it'd be worth it because it's so amazing. And I don't know if I would consider Timbuktu part of that. Now, going on to today's drama. I already mentioned in a couple of videos already, so there's 3 of us. Actually, we're 4 now here in Timbuktu, 1 person added on. This guy from America named Mike. And I already told you guys, like, not about Mike, because I just met him, but like the other guys on the tour, they have been really, really sexist towards the Chinese lady. And I already told you I've called them out on it. I was like, you guys need to stop. Like, she's not comfortable. Like, why are you guys acting like this? Especially the guy from Slovenia. I'm kind of like, you know, the culture in Africa is different. And I'm kind of like, am I really shocked that they're going to be a little bit misogynistic? No. But the guy from Slovenia, I was like, come on, you know better. Like, the way you're acting and these constant massage jokes. And she even made a point, like, they really got into it the other day, I mentioned. And she even said, like, she's like, he disrespects women, and he's always, like, with his massage jokes. And she's like, bleh, like, I would never massage him or something. And I was like, yeah, good point. Because she is an attractive woman, right? And he's not cute. So, that, like I said already, made me feel way bad. But at the same time, I have to say, I think, and I'm gonna cuss now, I apologize, I think she is a complete fucking bitch twat. I can't stand her. She's so inconsiderate. I've like, in her head, she can't understand that this is a group tour. Yes, I'm also somebody who prefers to travel alone. One of the reasons I prefer to travel alone is because I know that I am not the person that gets along with everybody. I have a very, very strong personality, especially in my travels. I know exactly what I want to see. I know exactly what I want to do. I like traveling alone because then I get up when I want, I eat when I want, I go where I want, I see what I want, I stay as long as I want, and I leave when I want. But when you're in a group, that's not what you can do. There's going to be things that the group is going to decide they want to do that maybe is not interesting for you. There's going to be days where you're going to be more bored, and there's days that are going to be more exciting, right? For me, this whole tour was about Timbuktu. A lot of the other things, we saw some really cool things, but there was a lot of things where I was just like we spent 3 days in Segu because of this festival, and I went to they had us buy a 3-day pass, and I literally went once, because I was like, this is not my scene, I think it's super boring, but then I was like, it's my choice, and then I'll sit in the hotel and like, you know, read a book or something. Where all she did is just complain and complain. She's like, it's boring for me, I don't want to do this. And she's like, I always want the front seat. She always had to get the best hotel room, yada, yada, yada. She didn't follow any of the rules through the entire time of this trip. We've been telling her, don't take pictures of military, don't take pictures of police, don't take pictures of people without asking first. And she doesn't care. She doesn't care. So what happened? We get to the airport yesterday in Bamako. And we literally had a meeting the day before about how it's going to go down in Timbuktu. And we literally, the tour guide, everybody, we all once again said, May, do you understand what we're saying to you? We're like, you're not allowed to bring your professional camera. They're going to think that you're trying to take pictures of something that you're not allowed to take pictures of, or they're going to think suspicious of you or whatever. And she's like, yeah. And then literally, and she was told, do not take pictures of the airport or anywhere near any kind of airport. And then literally we go through to wait for our plane, and then she pulls out her freaking camera to take a picture of our plane after, like, you know, and I was just kind of like, the level of just not giving a shit about anything but yourself. I was just like, you are the perfect example of like a millennial. Like, so fucking entitled, only thinks of yourself, don't give a shit about anybody else. Then there was this huge drama at the airport because basically the tour guide was like, she can't go like this, she can't go. And then we were lucky that the guy who drove us to the airport was still there, and then they had to leave the airport to give him the camera. And I was like, and then literally we just barely landed in Timbuktu, we're in the car, and then she pulls out her cell phone and tries to take a picture of the military police. And I was just like, you are such a fucking dumb bitch. Like, I was like, you're not allowed to do this, especially now. I was like, I am so close to seeing Timbuktu now. If you fuck this up for me, like, it's gonna go down. So far, I've always been the one in the middle because she's already completely alienated everybody else in the group, and I was like the one person still trying to keep the peace. But at that point, I also was just like, I like literally yelled at her in the car. I was like, May, put your fucking phone away. And then yesterday we did the tour, we saw the mosques, everything and stuff. And like I said, we constantly had police and military with us. And the tour guide again was like, don't take pictures. And she kept sneaking pictures of the military thing. She doesn't even give a shit about Timbuktu. She even said the next place after this she wants to go is the Ukraine. Like, she has some, like, I think she thinks she's a reporter. Maybe she is a reporter for China, I don't know. And she only wants to get pictures of like military and stuff like this. And well, turns out that even the tour guide didn't know, but we, along with all the military police that we saw, we also had undercover police following us to make sure we act correctly. And the undercover police, they saw that she was taking picture of military and police and stuff that she wasn't supposed to. So yesterday after the tour guide was pulled into the police station and like asked all these questions for hours on end. We didn't know anything about this. I guess he like was like, no, they're not spies. They're good people. Yada yada yada. You know. I mean, partially he did it for us, but of course, partially also did it to cover his own ass, right? Because he brought us here. But then this morning we had a meeting, and he told us, he was like, look, I did the best I can, but from now to the moment you leave, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like any moment right now, like while I'm doing this video, they said the police could come in here, take our phones, delete all of our pictures, maybe even interrogate us. Like he doesn't know. And then so we had a talk with her, and we're kind of like, man, like this is bull. Like, and like now since we had a talk with her, she has been so huffy and pissy with all of us. Like we're the bad guys, and I'm kind of like, God, you are so the epitome of like millennials and Gen Z. Like you are the one who legitimately acted incorrectly, and you still feel like you're the victim. Like I'm like, you guys are also mean on me. I was kind of like, you might end up getting us thrown in jail for espionage because you're a fucking inconsiderate bitch. I was like, and then to act like we're all ganging up on you and being mean. I was just like the level of entitlement and just, I can't. I'm literally shocked. I was like, what a fucking twat. I'm sorry. I know like people don't like that word, but in this case, it's absolutely like the right word. Like, and then, so like after they told us that I had I contacted my best friend, I contacted my sister, I was like, look, here's all my information, this is where I'm staying. If you don't hear from me by tomorrow at this time, when our flight should land in Bamako again, you need to go to the embassy, let them know where I am, the last time you saw me, all this kind of stuff, because yeah, I'm of course on pins and needles now, all the way till we hopefully get back tomorrow. I'm like, just because one person, and like I already told you guys, like that the Djinn, which was after Timbuktu, the #1 thing people want to see here, it was closed exactly for also a fucking asshole like her, who took pictures of military police after they said you can't. And then they were like, well, okay, if the tourists can't behave, then they just can't come here anymore. So even if nothing happens to me and the two other guys are in the tour, which of course, you know, inshallah, I still feel bad for the tour guide. What if they now decide, okay, we're going to close Timbuktu? That is another opportunity for our tour guide, who I am so grateful for, because he really went out of his way to try to still make me be able to get here, and like the other people in the tour too. But I was the one who was definitely the most like, I need to see Timbuktu. I need to see Timbuktu. You know what I mean? Like just finding all kinds of alternatives to be able to bring me here. And it's like now if they close Timbuktu, he's probably going to lose a lot of business, because the vast majority of people who come to Mali, they come to Mali because they want to see Timbuktu. And if they close Timbuktu now, who knows how much that's going to... And also his reputation. You know, if they all of a sudden decide that she's a spy and he brought her in, that's going to mess up his reputation. Like, I can't... Yeah. You know, I'm just so you guys, I think the drama just doesn't end in this trip. Like, I'm so grateful that I got to see Timbuktu, I really am. But I'm not going to feel completely safe and secure and happy until I left this country. Like, I'm like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. Like I said, if she was by herself and she's like, I want to try to sneak some pictures of military, I'd be like, that's fine, because it's only on you. If you land in jail because of something you did on your own, it doesn't impact anybody else, more power to you. You know what I mean? But like when you know that you're with other people that could potentially get in trouble, and you still now are walking around and pouting and acting like you're the victim, like I can't. I know this is such a mean thing to say, but I literally told the other guy and he agreed with me. I was like, at this point, if the police come, I was like, I say all three of us just point at her and be like, she's the culprit, take her. Like if she spends the next 2 months in jail in Mali, I don't care. I'm sorry, I just don't care anymore. When it gets to the point where you are so inconsiderate to where you can get other people potentially thrown in jail just because you want to have your freaking experience, I'm like, I have no more empathy. I have no more compassion for you. Don't care. Like, come take her, throw her in jail. If we never hear from her again, whatever. And maybe this is the lesson that she needs to learn. Apparently, she's somebody who's only going to learn the hard way. Because we have so many times in so many different ways been like, may you please follow the rules? I'm sorry. And then she breaks them 5 minutes later. So I even told them, like, you know what, if tomorrow, when we leave the hotel, all the way till we're in Bamako, I was like, you do not get to have access to your phone. Like, either one of us will take it, or she has to put it in her purse. I don't even care if it's just to check WhatsApp or whatever. Like, she's not touching her phone. I was like, this has gotten so out of hand and ridiculous at this point. Like, yeah. So that's the story, you guys. Please keep praying and wishing me good luck till I finally leave Mali. Take care. So if any of you guys ever wondered where all of our garbage and leftovers land, here you see it. So we have the Bamako skyline. And it's the Niger River. I don't know if you can see it. Hello, you guys. So we are back in Germany. We've been back in Germany for about a week now. I'm going for Spaziergang. Yeah, I just wanted to do, like, rounding it all up, putting it all together, summary of this trip to Timbuktu, which was honestly the hardest and worst trip I've ever been on. Give you guys a little bit of what happened in the week since I left. So I don't honestly know what my last video was, so sorry if there's any overlap from what I talked about in my last video. Basically, we got back from Timbuktu. We said goodbye to May, the Chinese woman who was causing all these problems, and myself and the guy from Slovenia. He was leaving that evening, but not until like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or something like that. So the tour guide, his office, he lives in the same building as his office, and he has like spare bedrooms or whatever. So he was like, you know, you guys can stay there for one night, because I was leaving the next night at like 1 a.m. And then that day, the Slovenian guy and I, we went for like dinner, and we talked a little bit more about everything that went on. That evening was okay-ish. I went to bed relatively early. The next day, the one tour guide that I really liked, and he did a lot for me and showed me a lot of things. He got us a motorcycle, and we went into Bamako, because I really hadn't seen a lot of Bamako yet at all. And we went to the National Museum. We went to the recycling market. We went to like this vista where you can like see all of Bamako. It was really pretty. And while we were there, I really started getting kidney pains again. And even though I've been walking around with the medication I bought when we were in Castle, like, it was just not kicking in, and I was feeling so uncomfortable. And so at one point I just finally was like, you know what, like, I know we had planned to be here for a while, whatever, but please just take me back. Like, I'm gonna lay down, I'm just gonna sleep for a bit. Hopefully the medication's gonna kick in so I can rest till I have to get on the plane to leave. So we did. We went back. Finally the medication kicked in, and then I had like 3 or 4 hours of just relaxing. Everything was fine. Then the electricity eventually went out and stayed out because I was actually thinking I was going to do my last video then. And then all of a sudden also the pain came back really, really bad. And I really was freaking out because I was like, no, I need to make it on this plane. And I can't have this pain right now, and damn it. And I was really, and then like my anxiety went obviously through the roof, which only made everything worse, the way I was feeling and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, so like he took me to the airport. Everything there went relatively smoothly, I guess, but I was in so much pain, especially waiting in line to go through immigration. It was going so slow, and they kept letting people cut in line. I was just like, please, just please, because I was like, oh my god, I'm in so much pain, and I just wanted to be able to sit down and wait for the flight. And then it's like that took forever, and then going through security, I had to go through 4 security checks. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but it's my personal belief that this was once again, because it's Africa, because in every single one of the security checks, one more time, they were trying to get bribes out of me and trying to cause problems. So I would give money. I didn't have any local money left, and I was in so much pain, I was not in the mood. So I was just like, no. Oh, woodpecker. Made it onto that flight, and the plan originally was that I was gonna fly from Bamako, go to Algiers, because I had all this drama getting the visa to go to Algeria. And on that flight, oh my god, it was, I mean, if that wasn't an all-time low for me too, I was in so much pain, I couldn't and I had like a middle seat, and I kept getting up, and then I was like asking the flight staff, you know, if I could just like stand in the back for a while. And I could tell that I was getting on their nerves too, because I mean, like, I'm sure flight staff it's not the best paying job either, and they go through a lot of crap, and last thing they're in the mood for is a difficult, you know, person on the plane. So then I kind of started feeling self-conscious about that. So I literally spent, it was like a 4-hour flight. Of that 4 hours, I probably spent 2.5 to almost 3 sitting on the toilet, and just like trying to deal with the pain while I'm sitting on the toilet, and just like kind of going in and out of consciousness. And then when I left the toilet, because I thought I heard an announcement that we were about to land, and they're like, no, it wasn't an announcement for that. But then they could just tell that I was just so done and so much pain and so uncomfortable that they actually let me finish the flight in first class. And by that time, I was like, the whole time I was in the bathroom and stuff, I was just kind of like thinking, like, what am I gonna do? Like, because I was supposed to have 4 days in Algeria, and the pain was getting really bad again, and I just was like, I can't, because I was like, I already had to power through so much pain. I wasn't even eating anymore, because it was the first time in my life that I wasn't in the mood for food. Completely rare for me. Normally, like, one thing that is very consistent is that I can pretty much eat and want to eat all the time. And I was just swallowing pain pills, like way above the level that they told me I was supposed to. I was just chugging pain pills. I wasn't drinking, I wasn't eating. I was just like, you know. So while I was on the flight to Algiers, I was like, you know what, the moment I land and I have Wi-Fi again, I'm gonna look when the next flight out back to Germany is, because I need to go home. I need to go to the doctor, whatever. And then yeah, literally there was a flight. We arrived in Algiers around like 7 in the morning. But the thing is, like, I actually had check-in bag, and there was a flight leaving Algiers at 10 to go to Germany. And I was like, I don't know if I can make that, because I still have to like get through immigration. I still have to get my bag. Then I have to go through immigration again, through everything, all this kind of stuff. But, you know, thanks to God, like, I just kind of like ran through all the processing, and then I went to the counter and I was like, can I still make this 10 o'clock flight? And they're like, yeah, you can still make it. So right away I booked myself on that flight. I called my best friend Nicole, and I was like, look, I had to change everything. I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much discomfort. And coming back, I was like in tears. And I was like, can somebody please pick me up from the Frankfurt airport? Because Frankfurt is kind of far from Stuttgart. And generally, I don't ask people to pick me up from that airport because I'm like, it's like a 2-hour drive, you know. But like Nicole was like, yes, of course I'm gonna come, you know. And then her and her mother, they came and picked me up. And I don't know if it was just like landing, being back in Germany. I actually felt way better by the time I got back to Germany. And then that day was okay. Last Monday, so exactly a week ago, I went to the doctor, and thank God, because I was really scared. I was like, I don't have, you know, usually I have medical insurance through the jobs I take in the countries I go to, but I don't have medical insurance right now. So I was like, the last time I had a kidney stone, I had to actually have an operation, or I don't know if that's what you call it. Like, they actually had to go in and like cut it up, or I don't know what they did, and actually pull it out. And I was like, if that happens now, I'm screwed because I can't afford that. I don't have medical insurance. And so thank God I went to the doctor and he did an ultrasound. He's like, no, there's no kidney stone. He was like, you just have a whole lot of sediment in your kidney that's coming out. So my guess is that just while I was in Mali, you know, like the water probably isn't super clean. There's always like dust and dirt particles in the air that I was breathing in. And because it's my left kidney, that's the problem. And probably because my left kidney doesn't super duper work that well anyway, it was probably just too much. And then while I was in Mali, I purposely didn't drink a lot. Normally I'm somebody who drinks a lot. Especially since I had that other kidney stone. I mean, I drink like two liters of water every day, easily. Besides the fact that I'm always thirsty. But while I was in Mali, I purposely didn't do that. On top of having to breathe in all these particles and stuff, and probably the sediment in the water I did drink, because I was like, we have all these really long distances to drive and go, and I feel bad if the other people on the tour, they're gonna, you know, like if it's gonna take even longer, because every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes, I'm like, I have to stop, I have to pee, you know. So I don't know, just all these things came together. Good news, I guess, from the doctor. He was like, look, you still have a lot of sediment in there that needs to come out. He's like, don't worry, it's going to come out naturally, but you're probably looking at another 2 or 3 days of discomfort, which has for the most part been true. I mean, I've been back to Germany in a week now, and I would say the major pains have definitely been gone. I think yesterday I had like a couple of minutes where again I kind of felt like, I don't know, normally you don't really feel your kidney, right? But I kind of felt like, I would say, my kidney kind of doing this. And still urinating is a little bit uncomfortable. I'm guessing that's still gonna last a couple more days. Yeah, so the first time in my life I've ever had to break off a trip. I've never had to break off a trip before. A trip that just left me. Oh, and then there's some more drama. Then, because I'm really thankful to Abdullah, who was the main tour guide, that he actually managed to get me to Timbuktu, considering how everything has gone wrong and all the drama, and we end up having to do UN flights, and then all the problems with that woman taking like all these pictures she shouldn't, and potentially the police coming to pick us up. And I was like, the one thing I told him, I was like, you know what, you put so much effort into this for me, and you know, partially also for his own reputation, right? It's his livelihood. But I was like, I'm gonna do everything in my. I'm going to leave positive reviews for you every possible place I can. Everywhere I can, I'm gonna leave reviews for you. So there's this one group on Facebook that I belong to, which is like a group for like people who travel a lot, like myself. And I left a review there, and I included a screenshot of the Facebook group. Did I tell you guys about that? So now the Mali government or whatever, they put up a post about me and the two other people having been to Timbuktu, and then when you click on the comments of that post, I would say 75% of the comments are like, they're spies, get them out of Mali, blah, 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 they don't belong here, get them out, and stuff like that. And also my Abdullah, he sent me a screenshot of the woman's WeChat or Twitter. I mean, like, I don't know what that is, but like, it's like a Twitter thing where she posted all the pictures of the security. So anyway, I was going to write a review for him and tell him like all the drama that happened and how he still managed to get us to Timbuktu and how grateful I am for him for that. And I included a screenshot of the Facebook post from the Mali government that says that we were spies, and a screenshot of her Twitter. And then I had that up, and then that caused all this controversy as well. And then finally, Abdullah from Mali messaged me on WhatsApp and was like, can you please take this post down? Because now I'm worried if somebody from the Mali government sees it, they're going to track it back to me. And then I might get in trouble. I'm still in Timbuktu. And I was like, oh my God, like that was completely the opposite of what I was hoping to do. Like I'm trying to do a good thing for you. And now I might potentially get you in trouble or in danger. So I had to take that post down. And yeah, but now in Mali, I guess everybody thinks we're spies. So I'm also very happy that I got out of there when I did, because I'm like, I don't think I would feel safe there anymore now that they all seem to think that we're spies. So I'm not sure, like, because I wanted to include both of those things in this recap as well. But now I'm not sure if I feel comfortable doing that. Maybe I'll do it like blurred or at the very end or something so you guys can see I'm not fibbing about this really happening. I mean, they're both public posts, so to some degree I'm kind of like, they're public posts, like, but whatever. And I really don't want to get Abdullah in trouble, because he really had to go through crazy stuff to try to get us to go to Timbuktu, and this was such a big deal for me, because it's like the one thing on the world wonder list that is not easily accessible, that is dangerous, you know what I mean? So it meant so much to me to be able to go while it's possible, because like I don't know, is Mali gonna ever bring back tourist visas again? I don't know. My understanding is they're kind of thinking there's gonna be a coup coming again soon. So who knows what happens? Who knows if like Timbuktu stays safe or if it's gonna completely close down again, right? Yeah. Still kind of in talking with Abdullah every once in a while, because there was drama with like one of the people in the group not doing the payment, and I was trying to help him with that. I also told the one tour guide I was going to help him set up a GoFundMe. I might attach that below, because he's trying to buy himself like I don't know, what is that called? I don't know, one of those cars you can go off-roading with someone, because he comes from a part of Mali called Dogon, which is also still very dangerous, and they're not having access to water or whatever. And he's been trying to like get school books and water and food and supplies to his people, but he doesn't have like a car that can really do it. So I told him I'd help him set up a GoFundMe. So if you guys are interested, and I've done that, by the time this video goes up, you'll find it in the description if you feel like you want to donate. Of course, don't feel pressure, you have to. I've done 3 GoFundMes in my life. The first one was when I was asking for donations because I was going to go to, because I went to Tanzania to be a volunteer teacher, and I was asking for donations to like get supplies and stuff for those kids, and it crazy backfired on me. Well, all these people were like, you think we're gonna pay for you to go on a vacation in Tanzania? And I was like, whoa, like was not expecting that kind of feedback from people. So I was like, I'm never gonna do GoFundMe for myself again. I was like, the kind of vitriol I got back because I wanted to get supplies for these kids, and it turned into me being like a money hungry person just trying to get money out of people so I can travel. I was like, all right. So then I set up a GoFundMe for Matt, because the town Lismore, where he's from, got completely flooded. I think this was also like 4 years ago or something like that. And also his house, all of his belongings, everything got destroyed. So I set up a GoFundMe for him, which I probably need to check on, because I set it up and then I don't think I've looked at that in years. So probably should do that. And yeah, now I'm gonna see if I can set up a GoFundMe for that tour guide. So this is not for me. This is not money for me. Please don't try to leave in the comments like you're just trying to get money for yourself. No, this has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with my travels. This has nothing to do with my life. This is for him. All the money will then go to him. I don't remember how the GoFund works, so I actually need to read into how that works anyway, and if I can even do that for him. But yeah. Otherwise, spent a whole week of literally like showering twice a day, washing my hair twice a day. On the last day, I also got so many mosquito bites on my feet and legs. And then I was like also panicked about that, because with all the pain I was in because of the kidney stone, I stopped taking the malaria medication. So I'm like, oh, just my luck. On the very last day, the whole trip, I was so careful about like being under mosquito netting, taking my malaria pill, putting like DEET mosquito spray on me. And then the last day, because I was in so much pain, I didn't care about anything besides not being in pain. I just didn't do any of those things, and then I got all these mosquito bites. And I'm like, great. Now probably next week I'll end up having malaria. So just to add that to this trip. Yeah, so what should I tell you guys? I don't know if watching this video is as much of an emotional roller coaster for you guys as it was for me, experiencing it and living it. It was a very hard trip for me, and it's just I'm in a really difficult chapter of my life. I've already mentioned that in other videos, because I don't know, this doesn't feel like the life I should be living anymore. And actually, with all the things that were going wrong, so much of me was kind of going, is this God's way of telling me it's time? It's time to stop this chapter. I gave you 10 years. I mean, I'm going into my 12th year of living this nomadic lifestyle. And God's like, I gave you 10 years. I gave you 10 years of travel and experience and all this kind of stuff. And now is your time to, listen to your body. You're not completely, I do have that medical condition, and kidney stones is something related to that as well. And I don't know if this is God's not subtle way of now just kind of being like, it's enough, you're done, And seeing as how I'm already not in the mental space anymore of this part of my life. I don't know. I would love to hear from other people who are kind of in their midlife crisis phase of their life, like how they're handling it. I feel like I talked with my best friend about this, and I was like, I think one of the things I think is the the part of this chapter of my life that I think I'm struggling with the most is that I don't feel like I'm living my life in the presence anymore. I feel like so much of what I'm doing, especially this last year that I came home, so much of it is all about worrying about future regret. It's all like, I need to finish all this traveling stuff because I don't want future regret. I need to, be in Germany and spend a lot of time, not living the life that I want to live, but being there for my family and my friends and everything, because I don't want to sit there one day and be like, oh, I should have, could have, and then I didn't. And now, I think that's really messing with me right now, is that, and I know, most people are probably just gonna be like, well, then just stop traveling, and I'm kind of like, yes, you guys, anybody who's saying that is right. It doesn't feel right anymore. Physically, I can't do it anymore. Mentally, it's not doing what it used to do for me anymore. But I cannot, I'm so scared that if I don't finish it now, because my body really just doesn't. My body's falling apart. Like, it really is. Like, it was part of my condition. I already knew this. I knew that I was going to die young. I knew that I was going to be somebody whose body is going to more and more fall apart much sooner than most people's. I already mentioned to you guys that since probably 2020-ish, I've started traveling with adult diapers. Like, thank God I haven't had to use them. Although there was one situation where I probably should have used them when I was in Uruguay. Because my body is just falling apart. Things just aren't working correct anymore. I don't know how. When I had that first kidney stone, the one thing I was always like, God, I got so lucky that I had it while I was working in Azerbaijan, and I had this amazing insurance and everything. And I was always like, God, just please never let me have a situation where I get it while I'm traveling. And now I got it while I'm traveling, right? And I'm like, okay, is this going to be something that's going to happen more often now? I mean, like, my kidney's also getting worse and not going to be, but then the other part of me is like, knowing that my body is falling apart, I'm like, this is it. This is all I have left. I only have another, I can't even imagine I have 5 years. Like, I'm thinking if I have 2 more years of even being able to do this physically at all, then I'm like, I just want to finish it, because I'm so scared that one day I will sit there and I'll be like, oh my God, I cannot believe I didn't finish when I was at, 95% or even more, 98% completion, and then I didn't finish it. And I'm so scared of this regret. And then at the same time, I'm just so annoyed at myself that I'm doing things just because I might potentially regret it in the future. Because I'm like, who knows? I don't know. Maybe in 5 years, I'll sit somewhere and be like, oh, thank God I did actually quit. Especially since I told you guys how arbitrary that World Wonders list is. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I don't know what's right. I'm still working on, I have one more place that I really want to try to live and do one more chapter of this chapter. And I'm still working on towards that, but I've also told myself probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks I should hear back if it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, I just need to be able to accept it, and then maybe just look at like the last 5 or 10 countries I absolutely want to see, just go there as a tourist, and then just be able to accept things as they are, and figure out what the next chapter is going to be. Maybe a man in my life?